VIO trying to remove the number plate of a vehicle stylishly without the person even knowing. This is Nigeria VIO. 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 Is it the work they ask them to be doing? VIO. VIO. Just look at this is Nigeria VIO. Vehicle inspection. Look at this one. Standing to cover so that people will not know. He has removed the plate number. You see, stylishly remove the plate number. And the person with the vehicle did not know. The person did not know. Where is he taking it to? Where is he taking it to? God knows where he's taking it to. And the man doesn't even know. It is well. That is Nigeria VIO for you.
We saw development control, they came here, and the next thing, they started removing houses. There was no prior notice, they didn't tell us anything. All we heard was that the minister was interested in the place. That was the only thing they told us. And that they said they should remove anything that is existing there. And we have a layout here, which the same director of development control signed approvals on. So I don't know why they are doing that. They did it in Centenary City, and for 14 years now, we have been going for relocation. Up till now, we have not gotten. But if they are interested in a layout, they do it within 1 month. Within 1 month, they do it. So up till now, we have not gotten replacement from Centenary City till today. Now they came here on Wednesday. They said they were sent on Wednesday. They marked few houses on Wednesday. And the next day they came with machine to come and remove. Normally they give us notices. First, second, third notice. None was given. Okay, tell us what the reason why you are removing the properties. They don't want to tell us. So they came here with policemen firing tear gas, and even the police people refused to listen to us when we were calling on them, at least to interview us. Let us know what exactly has happened. Yes. They were shooting tear gas. Even a civil defense guy cocked gun on me, that he was going to shoot me. And they came with yes.
Okay, were you, is it that you were unable to go through the proper channel before you get your ladder?
We went through proper channel. If you go to the pages today, you see the layout there. What they do is that they intimidate us by telling us it's Amak land. Amak is arm of government. Most of these Maitama properties you see today, they were all Amak that allocated them. Yes. So I don't know why they are threatening us with Amak every day. Okay, now even if you want to redesign a place, how long does it take to redesign a place? It has gone for 14 years now. They have not redesigned, they have not done anything. Just because they have interest, they want to be taking the land. They have been taking it one after the other. And we can't stand that anymore. If you have good money, you go to development control, you get approval. If you don't give them money, you don't get approval. But on that layout, we have approvals. And some of them, the same director that is talking, has buildings in all these estates. Yes. If you don't give him a house, he will not give you approval. Yes. I am saying it.
Yes, I have my own estate inside. And most of our clients that they demolish their property, some of them, they're currently in the hospital. What they are doing to us is not fair. This is where all our life savings is. A lot of people will be unemployed if this thing continues. And then at the end of the day, the EFCC and the police and all that will filled up because our customers will hold us there. And we had this paper all signed, duly signed by the government, and yet they are still punishing us. They didn't even follow the normal process. If you mark a place, you must give us ample time to come and defend ourselves. But how will you mark a place the next day you are destroying the place without giving us time of audience? It is wrong. They're just intimidating us here. They've been shooting into the air, tear gas on civilians like us who are working with our sweat.
We did not notify them before we start working here. Sir, where we are here since 2020. And your people knows about it. We pay you for approval. We did everything we need to do. We have a layout. He said what they want to do is I should just go through the minister. I said, what minister care? What does minister have to do with this? What we need is you serve us notice. We know why you are doing this. We were not served. They just came, start bringing down the building. Today, the other day, was it Friday? They came back again. They now mark. So that very day, it was that very day they started. They start marking. That was when we now heard that even the director, the former director, was sacked. I'm coming in order to just remove this layout and replace it with the new one. If they just replace the director with this new woman, the third day they replaced her was when they started this removal of building. People are already living here. People are already staying here. They are rendering it homeless. We don't know.
For now, how many houses are affected?
In my estate alone, it's 34 houses.
What demolished?
Demolished. Yes. Now.
From Friday to?
No, just for a day work. That is for Thursday. On Thursday alone. They started there. And you can see, please give way. You can see. That is the place. You can see houses. Those places there.
Small to compare.
Compared to what? That is where they started. When they now came with chopper, even when people were kidnapped, they didn't even use chopper. But they came to our site with chopper. Imagine. This bridge that they want to force themselves to pass through, we did it. Not government. We are the one that is even trying to allow our citizens to have house, to have roof all over their head. How many ministers are giving people house? They only come to just do land. We are doing land ministers. Only allocate to their loved ones or to their friends, their family, relatives. This is what they are doing.
You can't go to a place and seize land we won't allow that. We won't allow that. This is not for lawlessness. If you don't know what to do, then we'll teach you what you can do.
Thank you. What can we do, sir? What can we do, sir?
What can we do, sir?
Sir, we are not land grabbers. We are developers.
Developers, what about developers, sir?
We have
papers,
sir.
We have submitted this paper to the authority. Verifiable. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Approval is there, sir. Yes. You have your CFO.
This is Media Council.
Hold on. Who told you? That's why you make it. Sir. Hey, keep quiet. If you are an idiot, you're an idiot. Every land in the city belongs to the city.
We know.
And that was why
now
went and sold land. This time they don't know anything. The Supreme Court said you don't have power. And all they did was to apply to us to place down them that are against you. You don't sit here to double.
So, do we go back to the area council? Do we go back to the area council and
yes.
We're in court,
already. But yeah, we'll take our land. Not if you like, go and carry across. And the worst one is go and carry across. Who told you we allow that?
We did not harass you, sir. It's a lie, we didn't harass them, it's a lie, It is a lie, sir.
Yes. You know I will listen to you. You're taking the laws into your hand.
No, we never did, sir.
We never did, sir.
It's a wrong information,
It's a wrong information.
Lisa, we don't even know the reason why.
Sir, it's okay, sorry.
Who told you can talk? If you think that you take something, you are not the only one. You have to be careful. Stupid. Because I came there to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you.
Sorry,
Sorry, sir.
If you don't know what to do, don't bring their guns.
No, sir.
No, sir. Don't have guns.
We have no guns.
No guns, sir.
Even tear gas, you can't see it with us.
Members of the media, this brief press encounter by the members of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu and the media people concerns primarily what happened yesterday at the Federal High Court. Yesterday, because of the serial and consistent disobedience of the orders of Justice Binta regarding the council visitation to Nnamdi Kanu, the Federal High Court Registrar issued a Form 49. A Form 49 is a notice issuing to the defaulter, to the contemnor, the person in contempt of court, the person disobeying the order, to come to court and show cause why he should not be committed to prison for disobedience of court order. This happened yesterday, and I shall release the transcript to the media after this press conference. Now, the idea we got, it is very self-evident that the DSS, the DG of the DSS, Mr. Adeola Oluwatoshi Ajayi, is not acting in vacuum. He's acting on the authority of an advice, legal advice rendered to him by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and their private lawyer, Ashowaju Adiboyega Awomolo, SAN. That legal advice is this, that by virtue of the recusal of Justice Binta Nyako from Nnamdi Kanu's case, all the orders she made in relation to that case are now null and void. They actually took a step by filing a court process at the Court of Appeal stating the same thing, that all the orders issuing from Justice Binta Nyako are now null and void. Evidently, that legal advice has not been retracted, and that is why the new DG of DSS, Mr. Ajayi, is refusing us, lawyers Nnamdi Kanu, from having any visitation whatsoever with him as ordered by the court. You will recall that Justice Binta Nyako ordered that counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, the legal team, should be given a 3-day visitation regimen every week, which are supposed to be on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But since 27 September, and pursuant or after the recusal of Justice Binta Nyako, DSS has consistently refused us.
I am painfully aware that many citizens of all walks of life who are sincere patriots are becoming concerned about the length of time it is taking to crush the rebellion in our country. We have one and only one aim in prosecuting this war. It is to ensure that coming generations will live in a happier and more stable country. Let us accept our present difficulties as the price we have been called upon to pay in order to ensure a peaceful and prosperous future for our children. General Yakubu Gowon, 1967. I don't know this face, but please give me time. Let me examine invisible words written on the forehead. You know what? Why don't you join me? Let us take a look. Does it look like a face that can see clearly now? Study the contours of his famished smile, temples in turmoil. Note the dry streams of naked shame running amok all over his cheek. Touch his brittle jaws, where truth once suffered severe caricature. Follow one compromised vein after another. Trace it to the Golgotha of condemned nostalgia. Yeah, pity those innocent eyelids, sentenced to death, uprooted for failure to blow away tears. Don't let the stinking eyes fool you. They reside in a stadium of humanity, but hunger to belong. Appeasement always backfires in spontaneous frowns and exaggerated hiccups. Avoid his clipped eyelids. Let his grey mustache collectors of iniquities be. As for the bags under his eyes, those are the graveyards of deserted empathy. Symmetric nightmares reincarnate when the gods have their last laugh. Ears long bombarded with lies can only stretch out in resignation. That permanent ball by the left eye is a mark of betrayal, a reminder of that old concession that stinks up till now. While fury of time attracts reprehension, heaven scowls at acquired giggles. Then it sprinkles ashes into a mouth full of boiling blood. It is the law of nature. It is the nature of the law. Off the microphone, draw the curtain. Flash flood of reckoning is on the shore. Abusers of cosmic fire only sleep and swim in the rivers of regret. Rebellion unfinished outlives its ceasefire. Returns with reward soaked in vengeance to find you wherever in your head you are hiding. You are validated. Yes, you are. For you have inherited forever the weeping infant's corpse. Squeeze your wilting facial muscles. Sneeze out all imaginations. Maybe it will help your ears to bear the sound that nobody else can hear. The day the show closes, you will contend with the long night of being locked up in a nutshell. Until then, let the interpreters of deformities read your lips. Let them regurgitate what those lips used to suckle on. In spite of Ojukwu's wicked propaganda, religion has never been a cause of conflict in Nigeria, and it is my fervent hope that all Catholics, Muslims, and Protestants will continue to work and live together in harmony. General Yakubu Gowon, 1967. Ise nonsense.
Some of this rally make my blood pressure go up.
So you should get a filter sometimes. Filter your thoughts before you say.
I'll continue to take blood pressure medication.
Why are you getting high blood pressure, Jonava? Now,
I'm not taking medication for myself. I'm taking it for people like Paul and some of you guys that after the January, February something, and then people like Soludo that is a good spoiler. I thank God for his life. He's working for my.
I hope that Nigeria wins. I'm never going to wish any president evil so that I can say I told you so. No, I won't wish them evil. I hope. You see, I'm not praying. There's no point. I can't pray for Nigeria to be fine. I only hope that Nigeria wins and Nigerians win. Because if you choose a dodgy doctor who has a dodgy record, who has, all sort of accusations leveled against him, to say this doctor we think he's done this, or this doctor, this surgeon. Yes, he's a senior surgeon, he's the most whatever surgeon, but there are a lot of accusations leveled against him. If you choose him to operate on you, and you tell me to pray for you that it doesn't kill you surgery, what's the point? I can't pray. You might make it, you might not make it. My prayer won't change anything. So I hope Nigeria and Nigerians win during Tinubu's 4 years. Thank you.
And I am ready to die defending Nigeria in whatever way. When it is God's time for us to go, it is
and you
not
took my
going
time
to
to
be
God. You are ready to defend Nigeria. I gave you my time.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Alexi, hold on. You already started.
What I'm saying, defending Nigerians is this.
I gave him my time and he's using it to defend
No, sorry. I'm sorry.
1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,844,833 1 trillion. This money is too much for me. 1 trillion. I hope that is not on the record. 1 trillion 911 billion 840.
Tinubu is a criminal, yes, of course, a categorical grade 1 criminal. The only person more criminal than Tinubu in Nigeria is probably Babangida. But he's a criminal, and is he fit for purpose? Absolutely not. Should Tinubu be the president of Nigeria? Categorical no. Is there a better option than him? That is subjective. So show me who he is.
Everyone, welcome to another episode of Have Your Say 247. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. It's Saturday, October the 26th, 2024. We're coming to you live from New York City. I hope it's wonderful wherever you are joining us in the world. It's a beautiful day here in New York. We have so many stories that we are monitoring. There was a cabinet reshuffle by President Bola Tinubu this week, and we had some ministers kicked out and new ones appointed. We're going to talk about whether it's a renewed cabinet and whether there is hope for Nigeria. Also, early in the week, Gowon, former head of state, Gowon turned 90, and there was an event for him in Abuja. During the event, we had people speak, and P2B wished him well on his birthday, and he got pushback from the obedience. We're going to discuss that and compare that to the way that the country is moving. And we raise the question whether Gowon owes Nigerians something. What is it that he owes Nigerians? From there, we are going to touch on other stories in the news, including Olusegun Obasanjo, who has been critical of the government. He's been essentially saying that he left $70 billion when he left after paying off our debts. And now we owe more than 70 billion. So we're going to look at Obasanjo's legacy and wonder if he did the right thing in the way he handled the economy and the people he brought to take over from him. Then we move on to the Biafran agitation. This week, several things happened. We heard from the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu saying that they were prevented from seeing their client because Justice Binta Nyako, who left the case is interpreted by the government to mean that all the rulings by Binta has been thrown away. So we are going to look at that, and we're going to look at it in conjunction with the sit at home that has continued in the East with devastating impact on the economy of the Southeast. We are connecting that to Simon Ekpa, who had to respond to Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala over a tweet that Simon Ekpa, of course, did not send out, but it was a fake tweet that came out. So we want to look at lessons from that, because a lot of things come out online and people react to that. We also have this story about NNPC staff that died in a helicopter accident off Bonny waterways. The EFCC is also under fire because some states are suing that the whole agency is illegal. And finally, the Federal Executive Council approved the borrowing of another $618 million to fight insurgency and insecurity. They are going to use it to buy fighter jets and guns, and then to construct some roads. These and other things going on across Nigeria we are going to talk about. And of course, in America, 10 days from now, no, 11 days, I think, from now, there will be a major election in America that will determine whether Trump will come back to the White House or whether it's going to be a Harris that will take over from Biden. So we will weigh in on what's happening in America, the impacts on Africa, and what Africans should do. So if you want to join us, you can come into the studio and we'll welcome you to join this conversation. Again, thank you so much for those watching at home and those in the studio already. All right. So, welcome, Mr. James. Welcome to the show. Man of Prestige, welcome to the show. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you, and good morning.
Yeah. All right. Let me start by finding out if I missed any big big topic in the news. Let me start with you, Mr. James.
I think something is happening in Kanu. There's an election going on in Kanu, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct?
I think they are having a local government election.
Yes, a controversial local government election.
Yes. Yeah, I know that there was a court injunction by APC insisting that it should not happen. But that's the same script that played out in Rivers State and other states. I wonder why they even bother with this election, because the party in the states always win everything. But yeah, we can look into that. What's going on in Kano? Thank you, James. Man of Prestige.
Yeah, good day, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. I'm going to pivot away from politics. Apart from there's some good news. Apart from the havoc T-Pen is working on Nigerian people. So let's get away from T-Pen havoc that he's causing to Nigerian people. It's about football. You all know what transpired recently. The CAF has awarded the Eagles 3 point and 3 goals from that recent tobacco that happened in Libya, and they fined them for I think about $50,000. So Libya has been punished for that. So that's the only good news coming from Nigeria. And the Flamingo, the U17 is going to be playing this afternoon at 3:30. So you should keep up, And one more thing, there's somebody who like an international sports. The Clásico is coming today at 3:30. So Madrid and Barcelona. So that's the only good news. All the whole thing coming from Nigeria is shaking.
All right. Thank you, man of Prestige. Paul.
I'm so sorry. Good morning. Hey, I guess you didn't make mention more about Israel launching last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
I,
good point.
I just feel bad. The few cars that I have, I just have to go full tank, the whole thing. I just kind of think like Nigeria, like the gas that I will buy will last me for so long, like the way we do in Nigeria. You understand? Because I know nothing will happen so soon, but it just makes me feel bad when I see the way Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is behaving and every other thing with Israel. You know, the way they conducting all this rubbish and every other thing. They come to the media, they tell us that, oh, they've talked to Israel, then Israel will go and do their own thing. Then after everything, then they send over 70,000 US military scattered around that area. You understand? About 35,000. You understand? In Qatar, they put in Bahrain, Jordan, everywhere, Saudi Arabia, everywhere. I want to ask, when Iran launched those weapons, you understand? Bahrain, Jordan, they shoot some of those things down. Saudi Arabia shoots some of those things down. What is that claim? They say it passed through their airspace. So when Israel is sending the zone, did it pass through the also airspace of these people? Why didn't the Jordan, Bahrain, and the Saudi Arabia also shoot it down and every other thing? So you can ask yourself the question why these Democrat people love war so much. Now they send a lot of troops, about 12,000 from Germany. They send them down there. Do you know what they want to do? They are praying that one or if Iran launch anything and happen to any US military, they say, we don't have option. We got to go to war. Then your tax and my tax, they'll use it to fight war, to kill our American kids and every other thing. These people are very barbaric. I don't know what they're gaining. I just felt bad that I've already voted for Dr. Joe Stein, but I wish Democrats lose this election. And I wish they lose it in mercy.
All right, thank you, Paul. We get to American conversation about the American election. I will try to handle that. I want to see what you guys think. Ovie, all na politics.
Good to know. Now, good afternoon. Now, they hear me?
I will hear you. We want to know what is missing from the topics I mentioned.
I don't know what is missing. I don't know what is missing.
What are you paying attention to? What is important to you?
Dr. David, that's a deep question. I've been paying attention to the fact that in the next 10 to 15 years, it's going to be real chaos, especially the European nation. Pretty much everywhere, we are going to see collective outrage. And the fact that they don't so can tell us, say, if we make we behave for the next 10 years, anybody with DNO, I will see anyhow. They don't can tell us. This is exactly what happened in the 60s. So I'm concerned. Those are my worries. But most importantly, just like what Paul is saying, I think there's a law that was passed a couple of days ago that actually, for the first time in maybe in history of United States, the Supreme Court has granted the Pentagon pretty much the government to use the lethal force to kill American citizen and soil that's in America. So what the question is that what's going to happen, right? Is there something that is coming that we don't know? I don't know. I've already referred to I think when they had the debate about Donald Trump, I pointed to the fact that he's always referred to the former president McKinley. I don't. Many people don't know about McKinley. This was late 1800 to early 1900. It was pretty much one that precise over America then. And this idea of tariff, it came from that, and it's still actually reinforcing that. So, and during that point, a lot happened, especially a town called Wilmington. There's a book called Wilmington Lies. It pretty much speak about exactly what is happening today. So if we, I mean, I don't know. So when you ask me what am I following, it's there's a lot happening in the world that we are not exempted, you understand, especially the visitor that we have published ago and all the revelation that is coming out about what happened in the 60s and what is going on. So, Dr. Damiji, it's a serious shit happening. There's a lot happening. And, unfortunately, our people that actually govern our space are either trying to pay deaf ear or I just don't understand. So, yeah, a lot is happening, Dr. Damiji.
Sure.
Good evening, Dr. Damages, and good evening to my fellow panelists, co-debaters, our great timekeeper. I'm joking. To all the viewers from around the globe. Righteous man, good to see you. The chat gang, I salute you all. Good to have you all. I'm not sure there's anything that I would like to add. I think the gentlemen have added. I was going to mention the Kanu election. I've added a video to the back end. It's nothing new. It's nothing that we've never seen before, but just for you to have an idea of what's going on in Kanu with this local government election. It's a charade. And our judiciary, when some of us say we have no trust or faith in the judiciary, they think it's to do with 2023 or Peter Obi. No, it's beyond that. Now, I mean, there's no LP, there's no Peter Obi involved, but you see the election, the one that happened in Rivers, the one that is happening in Kano, where you have two courts giving contradicting judgments. How does that work? You know, one court in Abuja will tell you, don't hold the election. The court in the states, because those ones answer to the governor, will tell you the election must go on. So right now in Kano, yes, the governor said he voted. Kwakwanso, the leader of the Kwankwasia, you know, Ovie's man, I'm surprised he's not interested in this thing. He said he's voted, posted pictures, it's peaceful. But you see this other, honestly, if it's like a 30-second video, the way they are beating each other in Kano, you would think, you know, so it's quite important, because if we can't get it right at the local government level, I doubt much will change. As we all agree, local government, you know, local government chairmen or chairpersons are the closest to us. So it's quite an important one. And the Libya one, that Libya match that the man of prestige mentioned, good news to Nigeria. So 3 points to us. Libya must learn, and they're going to learn the hard way, in the words of a brave Nigerian.
Sure, no blame it. This is actually news to me. Sure, for real. I don't even know anything about Kano. And don't blame me. Don't blame me.
1 second, I beg.
No,
Let me just no vex.
No, seriously. Don't blame me. Maybe at the course of our conversation, you will understand why I know I don't pay attention to what they are saying. I mean, when we are not free, when you father say we are not free, every other thing is up the window as far as I'm concerned. These people are just charlatans. Just like make I borrow Mr. James, but they are charlatans. They are as in show. So I mean, you understand why I don't care about these people.
Look at your people now.
So you want
They could not show all the violence, but they will declare results in this place.
But nobody. NNPP, according to them, if they actually won the way they say they control Kano, why are they doing that?
So yeah, that's the.
I have no idea what's going on.
At least they came together to do something. In some states, we didn't see people coming together and they achieved the results. Righteous man, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening from here. Sure, nice hearing from you again. And my very good brother, James, how is Gambia?
It's okay. Thank you.
I hope you visit Nigeria very soon.
No, certainly
so
not.
that you can't run away from your father's land.
Certainly not.
So, my greetings to all the panelists,
Righteous
Obi and
man,
the
I
rest.
thought you righteous man. I thought you're a Christian. If you're a Christian, then our father's land is Earth, planet Earth. So everywhere belongs to our Father God, the Supreme.
No, the Bible said that the earth is of the Lord and the fullness thereof. And the
And the Lord
Bible
is
said
our
God has
Father.
given the earth to the sons of men. God is not coming down to inhabit the earth. He has given it to the sons of men. So forget about going to heaven. There is no heaven anywhere.
No, God holds
The
earth
earth,
and we live in his land. So everywhere belongs to God, and God is our Father. So everywhere is home.
but that is why I need visa to travel to the US. So irrespective of being owned by God.
I will tell you, say I don't need visa to travel to Delta from Lagos. I don't pay transport.
We are the only
Okay.
animals that pay. We are the only animals that pay to live on earth. Every other animal they live free, but
Exactly.
now we dey pay. And we dey pay
Free.
ourselves. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So
We be mad
my
people.
concern is about what happened in the National Assembly during the week. It was a disgraceful thing. In fact, it was one of our panelists here that sent that YouTube to me. And after I watched it, I was offended in my spirit, because I can't just imagine why those parliamentarians will go to the Hello Chamber and what they will be debating there, just religious, nonsensical things that have no bearing to our everyday living in Nigeria. I was shocked. I say, can this be real? That these people will go to the house only to debate about religious issues. When we are dying of hunger in Nigeria, when there is no work, no electricity, when the cost of living here, I don't think it can be compared to anywhere else in the world. And these people went to the house to debate Islamic Bank or whatever, inclusion and non-inclusion and this and that. In fact, I think they have to evaluate the mental capacity of these people that represent the Nigerian people at the house. They have to evaluate them, honestly. And like I always push it to the Nigerians in diaspora, you people have to, cry out that you are not being happy seeing what your brothers and sisters are doing back home here. Because our own voice, they hear us, but they don't do anything. It's just like we are conquered and defeated people. So that's a subject that really traumatized me during the week when I watched that ungodly acts in the house.
All right. Thank you, righteous man. Um, let me just remind you that if you look at the British Parliament and the American Senate and House of Rep, they also discuss things that if they put them on camera, you might wonder whether that is important or not. Because the job of the Parliament is not to just focus on one thing. It depends on what the media is showing you. If you watch them 24 hours, you see that they touch on everything. It's not just, I'm not defending them, but I'm just saying that sometimes we judge things. Democracy is new to us, even though it's been there for a while. We're used to military kind of structure. So we are not used to the fact that they could sit down in a democracy and be discussing things that you may think is not important, but it's part of their job. All right.
And doctor, on the flip side too, now that righteous man says this, Bobrisky too was also caught during the week, trying to escape the country. You understand? Yeah. So righteous man, don't complain if National Assembly discuss about it again.
All right. So before we pick on our first topic, let me just welcome to the show Mr. Okabu. Did I pronounce it well? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Damage. It's real.
Yeah.
It's morning here in Seattle. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, nice to have you.
Thank you.
Is there any topic, any issue in the news that you are paying attention to that is important to you before we go to our topics?
I pay attention to American politics. I pay attention to what's going on, and It's very, very interesting, but it's see when individuals and people don't know who they are, so they make decisions from that space. You have to understand who you are, because everything we do from our own the understanding of our own consciousness. That's why you choose the program, the profession you choose. That's why you decided to be where you are. It's not that somebody impose it on you or something like that. And everything we do from the level of the mind. Let us not forget that everything we use, whether it's car, aeroplane, or computer, the cell phone, the technology you were using to communicate, it came from somebody's thought. It came from thought in the head. And we all have that thought in our head. The only thing is that we as Africans and Black people in general, of course, African Americans are doing better than us. Black people don't know. It's not that we're not intelligent. We're actually, based on some of my readings and my findings, we can rank as some of the most intelligent people in the world. But we don't. We hesitate to use our intelligence. We hesitate to use our mind. We hate using our mind, because using our mind involves extreme relaxation and extreme calmness. And as Black people, we are not known for being calm and very, very going inside ourselves and relaxing to the extreme level, so that your creative part of you will surge up. We don't like to use our mind, effectively, and that's where we are. It's not because we're not intelligent. Now, what we call education, it's, by the way, that's education. The college education is just job training. You can be an engineer or medicine. It doesn't make you smarter than anybody. You're just learning facts. So for as long as we don't want to use what we have, it's not that we need to go get it anywhere. No, we all have it. But it takes discipline. It takes sitting down. For instance, we're about how many? We're about 7 of us here, and then we all know about the guy from London. Sure must know the guy that bought the airport. The Yoruba guy that bought the airport. And when he sold it, about 10 years later, he came back and told the whole world that he sold it and make about 10 times what he paid for it. He wasn't hiding. Ogunlesi, he came back and said, I sold it for 12 times what I bought for it. He paid like about 1.4 billion pounds, and he sold it for 13 billion pounds. And he came back and told the world now he's forming another coalition with another American investor. These are all the power of the mind. And anybody who wants to do anything here, 7 of us, whatever we choose to do, if you believe in what you want to do and sincerely believe in there is nothing to stop you. There's nobody can block you, because that's the way the world works. But because we don't know how to make those choices, and we have not, we don't even want to take time to learn how to do that. All we come here to do is we blame Buhari, we blame Babangida, we blame this. These people are not the problem. They're not the one causing our problem. Because why do I say that? Because they don't actually have the mind to do what you expect them to do. And if they do, they've not made up their mind that that's what they want to do. It's almost like where I'm sitting down here. You cannot force me to do what I've already made up my mind. If I make up my mind that I'm going to Nigeria to go and embezzle money in the government, do you think somebody like Paul will talk me out of it? No, he cannot. Rudolph not going to talk me out of it. But that's my choice. Because this is my plan. This is my life, my long life goal, to get into the power so I can steal money. So if you guys come here and want to just do intellectual masturbation, that's okay. You're never going to talk me out of it.
All right. We will see. We are going to start the conversation. We have 3 topics that we deal with within the next 2 hours now. The first one is the election in America, what that means for Africa. Africans have several different opinions. People supporting Trump and Harris. So we want to hear from you. What do you think? What should be important to the Africans who are here? Let me start with Paul. Paul has voted. I think he's regretting that he voted before the October surprise. So let's go around, starting with Paul. Paul, are you regretting that you voted already?
Yes, I regret that I voted because I voted for the two senators from Democrats. But with the way it's going, I even want the Democrat to even lose the Senate because I really, really felt bad. I know America, you understand, argue over everything, but when it comes to Israel, it become 100% bipartisan and everything. But what I understand for the few years that I've lived here in the US, I understand that you punish politicians when they do something wrong, not because of you, the other side, going to make it right, but you punish them for them to learn. It's called deterrent. You understand? You use deterrent to punish politicians when they do something wrong. So I just really feel bad. But on the other side in me, I'm just thinking that maybe Joe Biden is just completely racist who just really wants Kamala Harris to also lost the election with the way it's going. Because it's clearly that Netanyahu, you understand, wants Trump to win this election. Very clear. It's not hidden. It's no nothing. Then why are you doing everything to please Netanyahu? You understand? They say he that is down fears no fall. You understand? This is your last time with your age and every other thing. You don't really have anything to lose. Why don't you use this small little medium to write your name in gold? You understand? But he choose not to do that and every other thing. They still want to pander with Netanyahu, and Netanyahu is just doing everything. You give them almost $4 billion every year. You give them extra $26 billion. You are sending all these troops, picking troops all the way from Germany, everywhere. You are sending extra troops. You are sending all our weapons down there and everything. You say, oh, America is not concerned, but you blame Iran. What are you doing? Because the people are so scared of the US and everything. What you are doing, what the big league is doing, the so-called UK, Germany, and the likes, what they're doing, is that not what Iran is also doing? I don't get it. You bully all the old big Arab League guys. They're scared, even though the Qatar. Look at the problem, the way Israel is even killing Al Jazeera journalists and the likes, calling Al Jazeera that they are terrorists and the likes, and everything. You bully them. We all understand these things. But what are you gaining killing all these people? You understand? I can't factor it. Even when, as at this time, you have nothing to lose and you still want to go on with this way, just imagine if Netanyahu dream in his life, you understand, is to defeat Iran. Iran is 4 times the size of Iraq. And it take America almost 20 years. They couldn't achieve their goal in Iraq. You understand? Iran is big. It's the biggest place there. And everything. Just imagine our economy is dying right now. Just imagine if Netanyahu would choose to go ahead, you understand, and level maybe their nuclear sites or their oil facility. The price of gas going to go up. Inflation going to rise all around the world and everything.
So
How
Paul,
would that favor us?
Hold on. You mentioned several things. What are the options? Do you think the better options for Netanyahu, for the president? I mean, Biden and Democrats. Are you saying that it would have been good if they stopped sending arms to Israel? It would have been good if they hold Netanyahu from revenging or retaliating with the shooting that the missiles that Iran sent to Israel. Are you saying that it will give them more votes or more support? Do you think that they did not calculate these things and they know that if they go against Israel, that it's likely that they are going to lose more votes than the ones they are going to lose because the Arabs in America, Arab Americans, are not likely going to vote? Do you think they didn't make these calculations?
So if you talk about these calculations, it makes me laugh. Arab in the US is 5 million. The Jewish people are 8 million. You understand? The Sudan war, the seven, you understand, the 7 swing states, the Arab domiciled Michigan, that's 11 votes. You understand? Then you talk about Sudan, that they abandoned, that's another Islamic state. You understand? Thousands of them is in the state of Arizona. They dominate in Tucson. They feel bad. You understand? So if you want to look it from the place of politics, all I'm saying is that Joe Biden don't really have anything to lose. It's not about vote. It's about stop killing human life. But all I'm telling you, if this war goes on with Iraq, it's going to affect the whole world. The price of gas is going to go up if they destroy their oil facilities. That's all I'm telling you. So don't stop giving them weapon if you don't want to give them weapon. But you have your power to use your weapon and your grants that you give them to tell them, stop this. Not that you come to tell us in the media that you ask them to stop, but when you shut the door, you say, go ahead. We all know this. And if you say you are not concerned in the war, why are you sending over 78,000 military around that zone? You were just waiting for one US soldier to fall down. There is, we don't have no option. We got to go to war. You already give weapon. Why are you putting military everywhere?
Paul,
I'm asking.
We'll come back to you. Let's move on to other people. Man of Prestige.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Man of Prestige, what do you make of politics, the American politics? And I want you to look at it from the perspective of an African who is watching what's going on.
Thank you. Greeting everybody. When you want me to look at it from from African politics, perspective, I mean, there's nothing really going to change. American policy is structured the way they want it, regardless of who is in power. I mean, we know Trump might be an isolationist, American first come, but that does not change a thing about Africa, whether they're going to, support Africa. After all, Trump don't really care about Africa, let alone other Western countries. It's all about America. So nothing really is going to change. You're going to talk about this IMF or whatever borrowing money. That's a different structure. They're going to still borrow Nigerian money because they want to they want to colonize them, which are already colonizing already. So their foreign policy is not going to change. I mean, the little isolation that which is Trump is known for, it's just going to be very minimum in terms of Africa. So it doesn't really matter who come in. So that's what I have to say in that angle. So on a broader space, like my brother Paul said, I mean, you can vote for whomever you want. That's your prerogative, But in my own opinion, I look at the Republican, as the more evil part, evil part of the party compared to Democrat. I'm a Democrat, of course. I mean, you can vote for whomever you want to vote. So coming here blaming Democrat and everything that they did is Trump wouldn't make any difference. Trump would even be more hawkish, when it comes to Israelites. I mean, he's the one that changed, the capital to Jerusalem. I mean, now he's playing politics right now. That's what people don't realize. Everything he's doing right now, he's hoping that Trump is gonna come in. After all, they had a conversation about a week ago with Trump, and Trump said it that, and Netanyahu said that he doesn't care, he doesn't give a damn about Biden. We know Netanyahu is a Trump supporter. So if that happens, he's gonna give them everything they want to go and wipe up Palestinians. Trump already said it. They should nuke them and destroy the whole Palestinian. It doesn't matter. This is hard Trump thing. But anyway, that's American policies for you. In my own opinion, Trump is not going to be better. If you want to look at it from geopolitical angle, I don't know why we people from Africa, we show our senses. I don't know how we reason like Trump supposed to be this messiah. When he come in, he's going to wave his magic hand. Everyone will cease. There will be no more war. It doesn't work like that. So that's what I have to say. But whatever you believe, that's your own prerogative. I know what I believe.
All right. Thank you, Man of Prestige. KJ.
Just remember briefly, under 12 minutes, Reagan threatened Israel. They slowed down during Reagan's time. That's all I'm saying. It will not change. The only bipartisan anything America do is about Israel. The both parties support it. But the party that has killed 42,000 and still want to continue, no, I disagree with them.
All right.
You understand? It's not about the other one going to be wicked. What you are doing now, this is the bushel. This is the wicked. I am saying that is the one I can review about.
Okay,
not
Paul,
the one that is yet to come.
Paul, hold on. KJ. So Paul is arguing that the Democrats should be punished not that he supports the Republicans, but that the Democrats should be punished for not doing anything to hold Netanyahu to account. I don't know your politics and where you stand, but has that ever worked in America where a party is punished in the polls and they change their behavior?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Damages, for giving me the opportunity to participate. And I thank every other panelist that I can see and those on the keyboard warriors. Truly, to be straight and forward, it has never really worked in American politics. And I want to borrow a word from, lean on a little bit towards man of prestige, not really all, but a little bit towards him. He said that the American politics is constantly the same. It's like, I want to put it this way. American politics is like a lady or a guy who has finished dressing up. You want to go out, you just put lipsticks, That lipstick really don't change anything about you, really. It's just, an add-on. And so whether they are Democrats or Republicans, it's just an add-on. The system is set, in such a way that it will take maybe more than 2 terms of a president to change the trajectory of American politics. The way I understand it, this is my view. Mm-hmm. Now, whether and for those who say that Netanyahu is pandering to Trump, the truth is that if you go back when Trump was, when he was voted out, okay, Netanyahu that time also pandered to the incoming president. Remember that he almost embarrassed Trump. In fact, he refused to see Trump when he came here. Yep. So these people are acting to the best of the interest of their country, irrespective of what you think. It is high time we Africans should learn that also. We will dance. Let's learn the dance. We can't continue to be fooled every time. If it's going to pay us to get agitator done, if we have to dance to Russia, let's dance to Russia and get our agitator done, going up, the steel industry going up. Then if somebody else comes and we know that we are now capable of building ships. Remember, we used to have Niger Dock, where they build ships in Nigeria. If we need to revive that, and America is the one that's going to help us, let us also wear their clothes and dance to them. And then when we get it, we'll continue the act. If African politicians can learn the act of balancing, Africa will be best. Who is going to be better for Africa? Both of them. But you see, I will go. I wanted to become satiric, but I will not do that. Look, when Obama was around, Obama gave Kenya 10 years visa because Kenya was able to dance to that. So their visa went from being just 2 years, 3 years to 10 years. And the same thing now applies to Ghana, okay, before Obama left. Nigerians should be better in this dance. We have more people, more intelligence here. We should also learn the act of balancing, okay? Learn the act of balancing and go on to that's the way I see the world. But whether it's going to change, again, I will say, I will agree to Paul. Trump is feared. The reason why most people fear Trump because they think it's unpredictable. And I think it's good for international politics that you are unpredictable. I think so. If you ask me, I'm not a politician, even though I took some courses when I was in the university on that. But because of his not being able to be predicted, it is difficult for the Arabs to say, okay, we'll do this and do that without getting a repercussion. And sometimes it goes way off. Other times he just threatens and leaves it. So I'm saying for the world to remain where we all will have respect that our children will grow up and not be in chaos. We should not pander to the next, because the next world war it's not going to be a child's play. It's not going to be like the other one. It's going to be fought from, from different levels. It's going to be fought from the sky. We don't have anybody in the sky. It's going to be fought from every angle. So I will say that whether it is Republicans that are going to win or the Democrats are going to be in power continuously, it's not going to change a thing in African politics with America.
Right. Thank you, KJ. Ovie, certain things happened in the last 24 hours or 48 hours in America. The New York, the Washington Post, Los Angeles Times, they failed to endorse a candidate because their publishers were afraid. They intervened. They said, you can't do this. They were afraid that if Trump should win, Trump will take action, vindictive action against the paper, even though people don't vote because a newspaper endorsed any candidate. But it was a chilling news to people in the media about what the next 4 years might look like if Trump should be the president. Now, when you look at the contest as it stands today, what is your concern about the possibility of either of the candidates winning this election?
Well, start from the New York Times. We still have what 4 days, maybe 5 days before October ends. Maybe just still they are also waiting for the October surprise. Don't forget, October never ends. I suspect that is what is what they are hiding or see holding back. Maybe this is me just being looking back to see what is likely happening.
Hold on, over here. Point of correction. It's not New York Times. It's Washington Post and Los Angeles Times.
Washington Post. Yes.
New York.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Washington Post. Either of them. What's the difference? The difference is that age. One is older, one is younger. That's pretty much
Then
it.
Ovie, sorry, on the stuff, I remember the Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
So it's another businessman who is not sticking with Trump so much. So he's also trying to manage himself. So it might not be the media itself, but because of the owner.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not the media. It's the owners that are making the
owner.
And
yeah, Jeff Bezos.
An editor at the Los Angeles Times resigned.
In reference to what you said, why should you be afraid of a president coming in for retribution? Is that a normal thing to do? I mean, this is a free country. Why?
All right, let's hear from Ovie. Yeah, this is the first time in over 100 years that the papers are not endorsing a candidate. Okay.
Yes, these are not usual times too. Times are changing drastically. So I think what Paul just pointed out could be a very viable reason too. Now their Bezos get out, so it's leaning towards Democrat. But again, as far as I'm concerned, the election there's still time. You might say now 10 days. Just looking from the basketball angle, 10 seconds could be 10 minutes. So it's American election. It's not even over until January 6th. But we keep forgetting what January 6th is about. January 6th is about not just about what happened to the capital. No. January 6th is when the Congress actually certified the election. So, and that is when they collect the electoral vote, take it to the vote. So there's still a lot is still going to happen. So we just the way when it comes to election. And again, at this point in time, to still believe that either Kamala or Trump or any of these clowns have anything to actually do or contribute or minus or what is already ongoing in terms of Israel or we should stop deceiving ourselves. Yes, we should stop seeing America as like every other country. No, America is not every other country. America is an hegemony state that has interest of dominating the whole planet forever. Like this is really actually stated. So for the past 100 years, who become president, no matter, there's an administrative state, aka deep state. It is real. Those people are 100% in charge of foreign policy. Israel is not just a state. Israel is like 51 states of that another states to America. Doesn't matter how big country. Forget me Netanyahu. It's not up to Netanyahu. Those are all clowns. Pay attention to what happened at the Congress. What's in the happen for Congress? Now they argue them. Now one hand. So that's why you should pay attention to. Right? Forget the Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter who they play. Forget all those things. After all, we have a president who don't know where he is, but things are going on. America is actually facing just like what happened in the 60s when they are actually going after the communists. That's exactly what is happening now. There's nothing like say you have to take side. Where are you? Are you with the BRICS nations or you are the other side? So that's what is going on. That's why when they actually came to Nigeria, now waiting just like exactly what happened in the 60s, after the pressure came to them, what began happening in Nigeria is all those schools that happened. Now only one of them, 9 Nigerians, actually carry out successfully. The rest are CIA motivated action. So there's a lot of things that is happening that has nothing to do with all this clown. So it doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't matter who wins. Whatever that is going is already on the motion. Nothing will stop her. There's a containment of China going on. There's a pushback from the Russian angle, and especially about the Russian, about the Gaza and Israel. That's an ideological war that is going on. That is the only way to keep the Middle East and the religion at large, Muslim religion, in check. That's what the state of Israel is all about. So it's beyond all they know what they are doing. Again, to understand actually what is going on today, they have to go back to the First World War. When America won the First World War, they put their foot on the ground. They begin to say this is how the world is going to run. So all these media that are saying it, they don't matter again. They are all there for propaganda reason. All of us. So there's a deep things that is going on beyond all this clown that they are presenting before us. There's an existential threat before the hegemony, right? Is it that survival or the hegemony? That's where we are. It's beyond vote for this, vote for that, vote for this. No, it's a serious thing going on in the world that it will never remain the same again as we go on.
All right,
just like what happened in the 60s.
Thank you.
You have to take a side. You can't even afford to be a non-conventional. No, they will come after rehab. And that is what Jimmy Time will come to warn us about. They assemble our congressmen. That means a lot. They know assemble businessmen. They assemble the congressmen. Then they say the next 10 years, this is how it's going to happen. You do anyhow, you see anyhow. That's exactly what happened in the 60s. I'm sorry that I'm going too deep, but it doesn't matter who becomes the president at this point. There's more serious things that are going on.
Thank you, Obi. LSC. We know that it matters because Trump doesn't care about climate change. For instance, just one issue. He doesn't care, which means we know what he did the first time he came. He pulled America out of the climate accord. And African countries are bearing this the cost of the climate change, to the point that we are seeing flooding that we've never seen in generations happening across Africa. And Africa is hoping that there will be a kind of the money they promised third world countries, 100 billion, that they are going to use to develop their clean energy to stop them from following the path of the big nations that are polluting the environment, which means that instead of using coal, they will find a better energy. So these things are not going to continue to be supported by the rest of the world if Trump becomes president. So it matters to Africa who becomes the American president. So tell me from where you are, where you stand, what are the issues that are of interest to you in terms of who you vote for in the election?
Okay, thank you very much. And I heard what everybody said. I heard Paul's rants and his concerns and everything, and Man of Prestige and KJ, including Ovie. While they were talking, I was making notes at the same time. Let's go step by step. When it comes to Israel, let us not forget that it was British and America that actually created the nation of Israel. So when they created them, it's actually their responsibility to support them from that time on, from that stage onwards. Now, I'm not going to go into detail of that because, I've just mentioned this. Now, going to something that Man of Prestige said, that either way, America would be the way it is. We can say that to some extent because we know history. I don't know how many of you who read Timothy Snyder's book. Timothy Snyder is a history professor from NYU. And if you don't read it, please, you're not following or understanding. You see, my concern is that we are not, you see, I go back to what I'm saying. That we're intelligent people, but we refuse to use our mind. We refuse to use our intellect. And that's the concern. If you had watched what happened yesterday, yesterday in Atlanta, Georgia, Carlson, Georgia, Carlton to be precisely, you see all these big African Americans coming to campaign for Kamala Harris, and then you see all of them saying, and there's so many of them who are actually university professors. They're publishing books about how people get involved. And don't forget, the civil rights movement of 1963 was actually 100 years from when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, right? 1863 to 1963. And the Black Americans took it upon themselves to fight the powers that be, the most powerful nation in the world, and bring them to give them their civil rights. And we Nigerians are complaining about Buhari and Tinubu. The American politics is fluid. American politics is fluid. I'm not going to go into a long rant. Nobody has all the powers. We're all human beings. We're all created in the image of Creator, as they said it. And if we go with that principle, that means there's no power they have that you and I don't have. The only thing I can tell you is that we don't know how to use it. I'm not going to confess. I'm not going to say that I know how to use it. We don't know how to use the powers we have. Going back to to your question, Dr. Damages. American election this time is not about policies. Anybody who is thinking about policies is missing the mark. Four American military top 4-star generals who actually served with Donald Trump came out and said that the man is a fascist. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump came out and said that if he wins, he will use the military to go after the enemies of the state. And he mentioned Adam Schiff and mentioned Nancy Pelosi as an example. What is happening in America is what happened in 1923 in Germany. When Adolf Hitler was coming up, you know what the Germans, people in the chancellor were saying? They were saying that they were calling Hitler that sergeant. And don't let nobody take that sergeant seriously. What does he know? And then when they made him a chancellor, they were making him a chancellor because they said, "Don't worry, we know what to do. We can control him." Go and look at the book being dropped now, the biography of Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is now confessing. He said everything he knows in his. The book was just dropped like about a week ago. What he's saying about Donald Trump. Don't forget that when he was coming, he was hoping to control the same person. When Donald Trump said, Donald Trump actually, the only reason why they brought JV Dance, let me say this, is because of Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is a German-born tech guy who is a gay guy. He's a gay guy. He lives with a man. He's married to a guy. But Peter Thiel is the one that prompted up J.D. Vance when he was running, and because he worked for him before. Okay, what Peter Thiel there's a book I came across. Peter Thiel believed that America should be run by the businessmen, that people who don't contribute, people who don't make anything, who don't produce anything, who don't help to produce anything in the system, cannot have the right to vote and create the sense of direction for anything, because they are the ones that have the power, they make the money, they create wealth and everything. They should be the one that have the control. Now, when it comes to the African context, excuse me for 2 minutes. When it comes to the African context, Africans must know that either way, our best bet is if Kamala Harris is the president, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump already told you that he doesn't give a damn about anybody. As a matter of fact, the 15 million people he want to throw out of the United States, they are not all illegal immigrants, because don't forget that the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, they were not illegal. They're all legal. And if you go and watch the CPAC video they make about the people who said we are taking over this country because we are done with democracy, they actually came out in CPAC and said that we're going to defeat their democracy.
All right, so let's stop there for now. Righteous Man, in Project 2025, this is what they wrote there about Africa. So they have a plan. They figured out that Africans don't like these gay rights, human rights. They don't like countries telling them what to do about gay rights and human rights and all the culture wars, even abortion. So they said that they are going to recommend to Trump to follow that model. in any case, we know that Trump doesn't care about Africa. So it will work out very well for most African leaders who will not have anybody shouting at them. So someone like Tinubu can decide to be like Paul Biya and stay there for the next 30 years. And Trump, if Trump is the president, wouldn't care. So for people like the Biafran movement or the Yoruba Nation, it will actually work for them. Because when Trump was president, he negotiated this something in the Project 2025. We didn't know that. Most people, I didn't know that. Most people didn't know that. So when he was moving for the what he called the Abraham Accord with the Middle Eastern countries, he went to Morocco. Not him. His people went to Morocco and discussed with Morocco. And they said to Morocco, we'll let you control Western Sahara, and as long as you recognize Israel. So Trump is willing to do business with Africa, but in the context, the way that China is doing business with Africa, and they actually mentioned it, that China is not involved in internal politics. China doesn't care whether you kill their people, whether you rule forever. Just take loan from us and pay us back. If you don't pay us, we take you whatever we want. And that's the approach they are recommending that Trump will follow as president.
Yes.
We'll pay some people in Africa, So, for instance, if the Biafrans are able to reach Trump or the Yoruba Nation and convince him, that we give you something in return, and Trump will do a deal with the Biafrans and move on. So that is, it will have impact on all of us. This is what they are recommending in their book, in the templates they are going to use to govern the country. So, righteous man, I know you are a church person, and I know you care about what happens to the church. But I always wonder if democracy fails, if New York Post, New York newspapers in America, if they are no longer free to defend democracy, it may get to the point where even the church that people think they are protecting cannot be defended. Nobody will be there to defend the church. All right. So weighing from the culture war, righteous man, the culture war that is moving some people towards Trump.
Yeah, Dr. Dennis, please, will you just allow me some seconds to answer this question? Who is a true American? Who is real American? Because I've read some books that talked about the real Americans. Who are the real Americans?
That's a lecture. Well, everybody's an American if you're a citizen of America. I don't know who is real and who is fake.
Yeah.
I don't think some people can say the Native Americans, the Indians. But but everybody who is an American, and let me tell you this: every generation, every century, there are people who will come into America, and there will be this debate. The Italians faced that when they came. Now we don't even know who is an Italian American because names change. The Irish, they faced that when they came. So every generation, they all face that. Today, we're talking about people from Latin America. In another 100 years, it may not even be. Those people will just be, they will fit into America perfectly. Nobody will know that they came from somewhere. So it may just be the Africans or people from another part of the world, maybe the aliens. So it's not about, that's not important. The important thing is that everybody who is a citizen here can vote.
Even the white people who criticize the Jewish people too, some years back.
The reason why I asked that question is because in your address, you did mention African Americans, Latinos, Spanish Americans, and the rest of it. So if you have singled these people out as a race or a tribe or a people, who is then the real American? That's why I asked you the question. And also, I have read in books where they mention...
People get America. Oh, you do any idea? Thank you, righteous man. Go ahead.
So back to the issue. I really 100% support what Paul said. Because at least I'm averagely not a young man and I'm averagely not an old man. In the days I spent on earth, there is no policy of America that have favored the black man. If not, we wouldn't be underdeveloped today.
Hold on. when George Bush was president, George Bush Senior Jr., he actually implemented a policy that helped Africa deal with AIDS. When Clinton was president, they implemented what they call the African
AGOA.
Yeah, where Africans can see. So don't say those kind of things. There are things that are being helpful.
Dr. Damages, with all due respect, my opinion must not be contradicted or rejected by you. You have said your own, and this is my own opinion. I'm not a small boy. I'm not under 40. I'm not 50. I'm above. I'm heading to my 60s. And so you should allow me to exercise my right of opinion. Since I was born till this time, American policy have not helped to develop what we call the third world. Who made Africa the third world? It's still the same people you are referring to today that they had policies for one thing or the other. Who created AIDS, HIV/AIDS? Who created it? Where did it come from? See, that one of the problems I have discovered is that the black elites that reside in America have been brainwashed. And they are so much ready to defend America rather than defending Africa. If some of you that are intellectuals returns back here and begin to implement that intelligence you have, maybe Africa will be better. For me, my opinion is that those who enslaved us for over 400 years, those who made us slaves and used chain and pierce to pierce without reparation till today, can never do anything that will favor Africa. And they have never done, and they will not do. The policies of America, the policies of Europe, Western Europe and America is the same. And that's why they're defending Israel. No matter who comes there, whether it's Kamala, whether it's Trump, America will defend their foreign policy. As you guys have stated that America and Western Europe created Israel, I want to ask a question from religious point of view or cultural point of view, as you referred to me before. Okay? America is how many years old? How can a child that is less than 1,000 years old create a nation that have existed for 4,000 years? That's a question.
All right, righteous man, thank you.
Excuse me. Can I interject something?
I will let you do that, but let me just
No, use your time now. All of us get interjection. We just keep quiet me.
Okay, hold on. Righteous man, the only thing I did was to fact check you. I didn't stop you from airing your view. I didn't dismiss your view. When you said something that wasn't accurate, I wanted to fact check that. That was all I did. All right. I'll give LSC 1 minute, 2 minutes. Via 2 minutes, and we'll go to Tom. I didn't see your hand, KJ. KJ, I'll come to you to 2 minutes. Don't go beyond that, otherwise we'll stop doing that and get to hear other people.
Okay. Just one comment.
Okay.
The idea of after so many years still blaming colonial masters is a mental condition among Africans. Because there is nothing we want to build. Lagos State just built their first monorail or something like that in the Lagos City. If they have wanted and planned to do it 40 years ago, 50 years ago, nobody would have stopped them. When they grow to the point when they realize that they want to do it, they did it. There are 4 elements of, you can count more than this, but I take 4 elements of, what we call development. Your educational system, your health system, and your infrastructure, and then your government system. There is none of these elements that we want to develop in Nigeria that the Western world is blocking us from developing. If we want to build it, we can build anything. Thank you. That's all I want.
All right, thank you. Ovie, 2 minutes.
I totally agree with Righteous Man what he's saying. But my brother, last speaker, I don't understand where you are coming from. First of all, you say we are not using our intellect well. Yeah. And you went ahead to say, now British and America created Israel. But you failed to give us the reason.
Okay.
Because our people say there's a reason for everything, right? So what is the reason that it was created?
I can give you the reason. The reason was after the war of 1948, that place we call Jerusalem, that place called that place was being occupied. The Palestine land was being occupied by the British. When it was because of the Second World War, at the end of Second World War, 60 million Jews were already killed by Hitler. So
when you say hold on, you are going too fast. That place was already occupied by British. What was the reason for occupation?
The reason for occupation is that because the British were actually ruling almost every part of the world.
So what's your argument here?
My argument is that when the British relinquished and moved away, and then because don't forget that was not the first place they suggested.
Hold on. For the sake of time, right? Yeah. They are there because they already governed the world. They are there because of the oil that was newly discovered around that region. You know that was their not just to extract, but also to contain whatever that is going to occur from there. So when I said initially that the state of Israel is created for what? For containment of what? Of that region ideology. So you come back, you say the creator, and you are not giving reason. Again, I'm pointing that out because you are accusing all of us for not using our internet, right?
No, don't forget,
my brother, hold on. The same thing with the dog.
Let me make this statement before you continue.
No, he can't continue. His time is up. I'll have to move on to somebody else. KJ, 2 minutes.
No, I'll use my time. Just move ahead when you get to me next.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's go to Ton. Ton, welcome to the show.
Next time, KJ, ask nicely. Maybe I will agree for you to take on. Why are you afraid of? Why are you being scared? Hi. Hello, everybody.
Okay. So Ton,
hello.
Yeah, go ahead. I know you're in the UK. So
yeah. Hello, everybody. Hello, Doctor. The speaker, Mr. Kopu, that was why I came in. I wanted to come in later. I'll be very brief and come out. I just want to fast check him and tell him that some of the information he has just spewed out this evening are half truths, and half truth is equals to a lie. First and foremost, Mr. Ogulesi had not sold Gatwick Airport. Okay, you can go and check this. Anybody, the information is public. All he did, he sold his company Global GIP, which managed the airport, to BlackRock in January 2024. Yeah, January 2024. As a matter of fact, he owns 3 airports in the UK. He owns Edinburgh City Airport, and of course still owns Gatwick. So, sir, please check your information before you. And that statement saying that we do not use our intellect, I think that is a bit heavy, sir. With all due respect, I'll advise that you don't use such statements. There are a lot of smart people, and we are using our intellect. There are a lot of intellectual people. I can see some of us here that are very intellectual. OVA is here and all that. Very, very, very smart guy and all that. Dr. Damages himself. So by making very general, coming to a public space like this and saying that Africans don't use their intellect, sir, I don't think that is very nice. I'd like to weigh in on the issue of of Tinubu appointing more ministers than he sacked. It is
no, we're not discussing that yet. We're just
global politics. Okay,
yeah.
Israel.
In America.
For me, I mean, the American presidential election is the way I see it. That's the way I see it. A lot of people do not understand. It is much more than Trump or Kamala. It is about the people that wants to reshape the way this world is going, the way it's governed. And if we do not get it, I'm afraid it's going to be this thing. If America, I'm not an American. I love Americans. I love America each time I visit. But if America should miss this chance of appointing, because people keep pointing that Trump did this, Trump did that. Who is a saint? Even me that is talking, I'm not a saint. Who is a saint here? Like Jesus said that he who has no sin should cast the first stone. America makes the mistake to appoint that witch into the White House. America is, I don't want to use the F word.
All right. What are you doing? All right, thank you.
So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you. I'll be back. Take me backstage. I'll be back later.
Okay, let's go to the Joel of Nashville. Welcome to the show.
Oh, Tone, that's too harsh. How do you call a person weak? Come on now.
Thank you very much. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be listening from.
Good
I
morning,
want to make
the man from a red state.
thank you very much. Mr. Prestige, um, for this time being, we are not friends. You can talk to me after November 6th because this election has consequences. And Rudolph, I want to talk to you a little bit. I saw what you and Adiola did last week. I guess you have received your check from Kamala Harris. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But you see, this election is beyond what we are just saying. I think everybody is pandering towards their sentiments. But for me, I look at the core. What benefits us? If we say, for instance, the Democratic Party and their policies in Africa, what did we get from Obama? What did we get from Biden? I can understand the lottery visa, but let's face it, the lottery visa was a ploy to brain drain Africa and the world. After all, they were bringing in the best head. And I am not mad against that. I'm not mad about it. If that was their plan, I'm not mad about it. But the issue there is that when I start seeing certain things that goes against my core as an African being pushed by these people, is situations where you see kids, if kids can pronounce more or recall more gender than it is to know what math and English and science is all about. It becomes a problem. I do not care what you do as an adult, but leave the kids alone. Now, with the Democrat, it seems to be there is no standard. We come from somewhere, for crying out loud, and no matter how you want to beat that Africa, we still have our culture. Our culture kept us where we are today. No matter how bad you want to badmouth the Nigerian culture or the African culture, we've always upheld family. We've always upheld family. And I keep telling people, the reason, the secret to Nigerians doing what they're doing in the US is because we had strong family backgrounds. You may say we are too conservative, we are too archaic. That is fine. The end justifies the means. Now we have come here, we ought to start saying, okay, what is the problem? You don't just follow sheepishly. You came in here, you made the African Americans, okay, fine. What is going on? At least if you're sincere to yourself, you should be able to tell them the truth. The core reason why you guys are not doing so well, you guys are doing good, but it could have been better, is that your family system are broken. You cannot run an economy on 79% single mom. And who are those projecting them? Who are those really making them be on TV, on BET, everywhere you go to? They are the ones talking. They are the loudest. Are the Democrats. We never had any American president come to Africa to tell us about LGBTQ, except for Obama. When Trump came in, we did not see that. Now Kamala came in and we started hearing about that. I used to be a Democrat. I voted Obama. But in the twilight of Obama's administration, when he approved gay marriage in the United States, I knew it was over for the Democratic Party.
Oh, please.
At that point, I said, I am not doing this no more. And when Trump eventually came in, I saw certain things. Oh, he was going to be a Hitler. Okay, he's not one. How many they kept talking about to keep badmouthing this man, and I said, you know what? Let me go and listen to this man on YouTube. And I found things for myself. The things the mandate for the black community in the United States, which includes the HBCU, opportunity zones, right? I can go on and on. In fact, then we had more money in my pocket. Look, Rudolph, let me tell you something. As Nigerians, we came here to make money, train our kids and make money. If that is your point, if this man is proposing no taxes on overtime, no taxes on tips, in fact, he's even taking it to enough to top notch by saying that he might consider no taxes on income. Because let's face it, we say that we are the police of the world. The Chinese, everything we use in our homes, right from here, from my clothes down to my jeans, is produced in China. Let's look at it very, very well. For us as Nigerians, what really matters to us is how much we put in our pocket, how well our families are doing, and how well we contribute to the society. If that is the key, then we should know that Trump is the right guy for us.
All right, Joel, hold on. Okay, we can let's involve other people. I want you to think about this when I come back to you to answer some of these questions. So because I understand your viewpoint, and it's very popular. It's very common with Africans, a lot of Africans. When you say things like, as Nigerians, we're here to make money, that's not why I'm here. I don't think that's why we're here. But you may have to think about it more to know why you are here. It's not just that. And also the idea that we are training our kids. Remember that our kids in the next 100 years will obviously become Americans. There won't be any track of this African thing we are talking about. Okay. Now, and also when I come to you, I want you to weigh your viewpoints in line with the Arabs who were born in Europe, who are demanding Sharia law. So what I mean by that is that we look at them and we complain, why should they be in Europe and trying to impose their ways of lives, the world where they came from on Europeans? Don't you think that what you are pushing, if Americans, remember Obama, you mentioned Obama and gay marriage, the fact that the court system and the process that it happened, Obama said that he evolved. There was no president, and there is no president that could now reverse that. And societies are evolving. And it appears that Africans think that it's possible that they can live in this society and impose the way the Arabs are trying to impose Sharia law in Europe and impose their way, what they feel, how they felt when they were home, impose it on America. And that anybody who is going against that, they can change it. That's what Africans are thinking. And then they will criticize those who are pushing for Sharia law in Europe and say, look at what they are doing. Can they go back to where they come from? You know, but I will come back to you. I don't want it to be just...
No. Rudolph, don't give me 30 seconds. On this last one you say, just 30 seconds, just 30 seconds. See, Rudolph, I am not saying, look, if you're 18 and above, whatever you want to do, that is your business. But don't push it on my kids. Not when I'm alive.
All right.
Thank you.
We will talk about that. Thank you. Sorry, no. Let me hear from two more people, then we can interject. Paul and Maropresi, hold on. Okay, let me hear from KSO and Bumi, and then I will let you guys into the KSO.
Me.
We can't hear you, KSO. All right, I have to move on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Good evening. Can you hear me now?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to react to somebody on our politics. I think when our father there made a statement that Africans don't use their intellect, I think that statement will be a little bit contextual. I don't think he's generalizing that all Africans don't use we don't use our intellect. I think contextually we don't use our intellect. That is why we are still where we are today. That is why after 64 years of independence, we are still relying on Western world to develop a policy that will favor us or that will come to help us to develop our infrastructure, our educational sector, or whatever. But for me, US, whatever happens between Harris and Donald Trump, as one, we have what we call institutional culture. The culture of the American institutions will not allow anybody to just come and begin to superimpose his idea on the rest of the world or the Americans. That way, Donald Trump may make some round, may make some political rhetorics, but in actualizing those rhetorics, I think he's going to hit a brick wall because Americans have very strong institution that will not allow him to push forward with whatever he wants to do as a fascist. That cannot happen. I am not saying I'm for Donald Trump. I don't really know him too well. Harris, I don't really know Harris too well because I've not been following American politics. But what I know about American is this: whoever comes to power will not do anything to favor Africa more than to favor the United States of America. Let us get that clear. Africans, or let me just say, the African continent is not seen as a serious continent because actually we are not serious. If we were serious, we'll be looking at, let us even do what we call comparative analysis of continents or even nations. In the Asia Southeast Asia, we have Indonesia, we have China, we have Indian, we have the one they call the Asian tigers.
All right, Keith. So we can't hear you anymore. Let's go to Bumi. Bumi, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Damages. Good evening, everyone. Regarding the whole American election and how that affects the global space, I do think nothing's really going to change. I think the only thing that's going to change the most is how it affects the American people first. And I think the next thing is then how it affects every other person. I think whether or not Kamala Harris or Donald Trump is elected, the American interest will still stay the same, which is forever American first. But outside of that, I think it's also kind of sad that like out of like how many million people America has, that's like your only two option. It low-key reflects on, or it kind of dies down to like, when we had our election last year, or is it 2 years ago? And like we saw the option, it's like, is that what Nigeria can offer, really? And I think it's the same too, that America with so much brightness and everything, you guys love to talk a lot. That's all you guys can offer. I mean, before Kamala Harris came into the conversation, it was literally Joe Biden and Trump. And that was even so sad. And I'm not an American, but looking at it from outside, I was like, really? This is what you guys talk about, the American dream, Biden and Trump. And I just think that there's no way you cannot find someone else who wants the best for America, who isn't dealing with like this whole court issues, whether he's convicted or not, in terms of him being a criminal or not. Like, you have so much people, like literally so much. But I think when you talk about American politics, I think there are two people when it comes to how it affects African. There are two people involved. They're like the Africans who have migrated to America, who are very much part of the society. And then you have the Africans who are still integrating. And I feel like when you talk about the Black people, of like the ones that are doing slavery that were brought there, I feel like those ones have a different conversation because that's the only thing they know. The only thing they know is their American country and how to keep it moving. Now, the people coming from Africa, I find it a bit hard sometimes understanding those people because I'm like, are you for America or are you for Africa? You have to choose one. You can't be for both of them because America has its identity or its first interest, which is American first. America will never think about Africa if they're not fine. So when I see certain Africans coming that, Trump is the best solution for Africa or Kamala Harris is the best solution, they're not. They're the best solution for them first. And then if Africa is something they're interested in, then they'll think about you. But when you even look at it on a large scale, why would they even be interested in Africa? And a question I'd like to ask is, what president we have had as Nigeria? has ever been a beneficial to Ghana, for example. How is Tinubu someone very important for the Ghanaian society or West Africa? We're even still dealing with that question. So if we have that problem that we are trying to solve, is it America that will start looking at us that they have their whole problem when it comes to how many people are homeless, how much money they're sending out of the country when people are talking about insurance, healthcare, all these things, that you want them to start looking at you? They have so much problem that is Africa. So I feel like we need to be very direct. If you're American, like black, if you're a black American, then I can understand your perspective. But if you're African, I really don't understand your perspective when it comes to American politics, because it's forever America first.
All right, thank you.
Let me add
No,
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
All this,
15 seconds to what you said.
I'll come to you.
Please, Bumi, you can be both. You can be both, okay? You can be both. The Jews, the Indians, even though they live here, they still have connection with where they come from. So that's my point. Thank you.
Everybody else have talked.
All right,
Let
hold
other
on.
people
Ike,
talk.
hold on. Let me go to forefathers. What I will do is forefathers will speak. Ike na San Antonio will speak, and then I'll give Paul or my man of prestige and Paul 2 minutes to and Ovie. That's it. And we have to change topic because I have to end this.
But bros, I was waiting. You have given
okay. KJ too. I will get to KJ. God help me. So let's hear from forefathers.
Yeah, greetings, Dr. Rudolph. Thank you for having me, and greetings to all the people on the panel. Greetings to the chat and to the viewers. I think I sympathize with the views of Bumi in the content. I think I understand what she's saying. I don't think she's saying that you cannot support America, but you always have to remember your home comes first. And you left home not that long ago. And how did you become so brainwashed that you start thinking that Westerners can be somehow for you? They will always put themselves first. Sometimes their interest coincides with your interest, and you are more likely to have that situation occur if you take care of yourself at home. That is where our own responsibility comes in. I don't understand why people say Westerners don't do things against us. Both can be true. We are ultimately responsible, but they are also doing things to affect us badly. I even heard Kamala Harris say recently that when they always play this video about her not wanting to say she cannot do anything specifically for black people, but she also said that when they pass laws, they know the people the laws are going to hit. They know the outcome of these rules that they put in place. The idea that they gave us AGOA, they gave us all this stuff that they did for us. They know the outcome. The outcome is what we are seeing now. And outcomes matter. If we don't understand outcome, then how can you ever learn? If somebody gives you an outcome that is leading to this, while the one they did for Germany led to a different outcome, the Japanese led to a different outcome, the South Koreans led to a different outcome, you have to start recognizing that the outcome they are giving you somewhere along the line, either you are not recognizing it or you're not doing something so that your own outcome will be better, or they are doing something to ensure you don't get anywhere. And both of them can also be true in different areas. If you are looking at other different aspects of the economy or different aspects of your society, there's a reason why they never encourage us to strategically have defense arrangements with them. Yeah, they have it with Egypt. They have it with Israel. They have 26 billion they gave to Israel just recently. A tiny country of about 11 million people. We're talking about the whole this in the continent. I don't think they gave the entire black continent 26 billion.
Hold on. You said something. I just want to correct something, that they don't have military arrangement with us. When Nigeria in 1963 had demonstrations saying that we don't want to sign any pact with Britain, they wanted it. They will sign with us any day if we want to. We are the ones saying no. How can you say that?
It depends on the agreement. I think the nature of the agreement
is
the
what people who protested were students. They don't know what is in the agreement.
I think I agree with that. I agree. We don't need it. We don't need it. The two Nigerians. That's another discussion entirely. That's a different conversation entirely. I don't think you need it two Nigerians, but that's a different conversation entirely. I would say we don't need them, and I think I support the idea.
It depends on the agreement. I'm sure the agreement that they drew just after colonization probably was one-sided, like they did with Haiti, like they did with many countries. If they had an agreement that strategically empowers us, I don't see any reason why even students will push against it. They probably saw the agreement and saw that these people are looking for a way to just control us again. They are not encouraging us. They left us with 6,000 soldiers. They're not encouraging us to be strong in any way. And okay, if they are so keen on it, why are they not allowing us to do it now? Why do they have so many military bases surrounding Nigeria? Foreigners are the ones securing our this in the African nations. So the idea that they wanted to have strategic relationship with us and we don't want to have it with them, I don't know. I don't see it as being accurate. We wanted to buy Tucano from them. We buy all our equipment from them. Literally right now, we barely buy equipment from other people. And yet, when we try to buy Tucano from them, they didn't want to sell to us. Even after this in Niger Republic and Burkina Faso, they were complaining that these people won't even give us, when we want to buy deadly weapons, they won't sell it to us. And this didn't start now. This is something that started hundreds of years ago. The Pope passed a law that they should never give us any technology. The same thing happened to the Mali kingdom. This is something that has come down the ages. The fact that we are talking about it now as if it's controversial, it's not controversial at all. It's the truth of the situation. They've been harvesting wealth from the south to the north for a very, very long time. And that is the struggle that is going on in the world today. We really should understand these things. The Pope, in the olden days, passed a law to prevent that from happening. Until today, that rule is still in place. They are making sure uniformly almost 40 black African countries are underdeveloped. How is that possible? Even by accident, some of them should be very, very developed by now. If by accident they are trading properly with us, they are not doing that with us. Everything they've done is designed for us to be behind. And it's for us to start recognizing that and saying, you know what, if let's say give them a benefit of the doubt, check the details. Why do you have this type of agreement with South Korea and you don't have it with us? Why do you have this type of agreement with Japan and you don't have it with us? Why are we not asking those critical questions? Thank you.
All right. Wow, so now that they look back to the Pope. I'm impressed. That is looking back.
Iken has San Antonio. Hold on a bit. Iken has San Antonio. We have to rush. We are running out of time. Go ahead.
Dr. Jacqueline Damages, thank you for today. So I really don't care about African politics and all that. I'm talking about American politics because that is where I live. I've lived here and I have witnessed, as of yesterday, 2 days ago, I did my 7th presidential election in America. So I have voted Republican, I have voted Democrat. I'm an independent. But for me, I do analysis. When Trump became president in 2016, for 4 years before my portfolio crashed, for 4 years he was giving me annual return of 4 to 7%. Because people talk about how good the economy is, 4 to 7% on my portfolio. Today, since 2021 till today, I'm getting a portfolio of 11 to 15%. So when you talk about whose economy is better, whose economy is better for me, let me say me, Ebi Loco, whose economy is better for me. Then let's go back from that perspective. Some people keep on telling me how good Trump is. What did Trump did for 4 years? He didn't do anything. And this election, he haven't told me what he's gonna do. He have not told me what he's gonna do. Rather, proxies tell me what Trump's gonna do. The worst 4 years of my life in this country, I thought George Bush era was the worst 8 years. The worst 4 years of presidency in this country was during the Donald Trump presidency. And guess what? That was when racism became real. When I was in college, I see racism. But really, 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 racism was real to me. And as a healthcare professional, racism was real for me. So when somebody say, when we look at it, what we're going to benefit, then I would tell you, for 4 years of Trump, I didn't benefit anything. I paid more tax. In 4 years, I was IRS randomly look at my income. And guess what? They took 2 times in a row, they took a lot of money from me. So, sir, the guy next to me, you said how good Trump are. I'm sorry, economically, he's not good. He failed as a businessman. Not only that he failed as a businessman, he tried to run America as a business, and he failed. So I voted, and I'm proud to say, even though I don't know if America is ready for a woman to rule them, I'm proud to say that I vote for Kamala Harris, and I will vote for her again, over and over Trump. So
right.
that is my take on this.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to proceed 2 minutes, Paul 2 minutes, KJ 2 minutes, and then we end with Joel or Ovie again. All right, Joel 2 minutes and Ovie 2. You guys are killing me. All right, go ahead, man of Presi. 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, I just
sorry.
My own 30 seconds. No go reach 1 minute. I promise you.
Okay.
I would say let's move. It's not going to end. Let's move on.
No, it's going to end. Let me just make sure that they think they are going to say something that will change anything, the history of America. Let's hear. Man of Presi. Man of Presi, go ahead. We can't hear you. What are you doing? You can't even figure it out anymore. Man of Presi, you're muted.
You're scared of
All right, let's go.
Nigeria.
Paul, go ahead. Man of Prestige is lost. Go ahead, Paul.
Jewel of Nigeria, scared.
Oh, it's my turn. Hold on.
If you want me to go, I will go. No, I'm ready. I don't know. But it's okay.
That was
yesterday.
yesterday.
Let me get my 2 minutes. So what I was about to say, what Bumi said here is 100% correct. And forefather, somehow half of what he said, in my own opinion, is incorrect, but half of it is correct, in terms of American policy. So I don't have to say what again. I'm going to come to American foreign policy. It's all about America. But I have something to say to all these Trump bandwagon people here, like my brother here, Joel, which is a MAGA, there's no doubt about it. He's a MAGA. So having said that, people here have been deceived, you cannot properly said it in terms of economy. I mean, people, Trump increased people tax. If you're making less than $500,000 or whatever, 200 or 300, people tax went up during his time. The only people that benefited, me as a business person, I benefited a little bit. But look at how stock market is right now. I believe in my own personally, income wise and other things, I'm in a better shape right now than I was under Trump. That's what people don't realize. And look at what Trump is proposing right now. Trump doesn't have any economical view. All he's playing is cultural warfare. Now look at Kamala Harris' economic, is very, very wide. But all Trump wants to play is about illegal immigrant, all that kind of things, and fabrication. That's what he did. He doesn't even know how to. I mean, I lie a lot. Very simple thing, you lie. Like he claimed 2 days ago, his last daughter graduated from law school with first class. People have to vent him. No, let it didn't graduate with the first class. He was like a third or fourth class. So very simple thing. The man just lie. I don't know why you want to put up with such, autocracy. That's what he's gonna do. And now he wants to remove income tax. How is that going to be possible? And the money from the tariff is going to benefit this country. So, but if you decided to vote for him, power to you. You're going to get what you deserve. That's what I'm still gonna be good. Okay, because I don't depend on the economy only. Thank you.
Thank you, man of Prestige. Paul, 2 minutes.
Doctor, I just want to say, I like Democrats. They know how to use the media, and they just look into your face, then they lie and lie and lie. See, we all know in this country, don't clamp your hand. Democrats lie, but Republican lie. They lie like they're lying. They lie with fact, even when the fact is not there. So I'll tell you, we know how Bush crumbled the economy. But in 2009, Obama met the economy with the Great Recession in 2008. So let me use 2009 officially with Obama. Unemployment rate was 9.6. 2010 was 8.5, 2011 was 6.7, 2012 was 6.3, 2013 was 5.7, 2014 was 5.9, 2015 was 4.9, 2016 I'll still give it to Obama because Obama already take 16 basically, was 4.7. So you can see how Obama brought it from 9.6 to 4.7. Then in 2017, remember, Obama take America out of recession. Now, Trump from 4.7 to 4.1, 18 was 3.9, 2019 was 3.6, and I will give it to Trump, I understand. 2020 was 6.7, though we all understand because of COVID and everything. Then when they open up work again, work started going and everything, he moved on to 4.1. Then he successfully bring it back to 3.7, then 2023, and just like that. So when you look how from Obama to Biden, how it was coming down again. So Biden did very well. Obama did very well. But you know the funny part of it, when people talk, these Republican people talk all this money in my pocket, it's a lie. And I would say it's a lie more. Mostly, if I want to say with my Nigerian community, who does not really invest in the capital market in the US. America is less than 10% that invest in the US. And this is what they used to say, the economy is good, the economy is good. How many of us as Nigerians, Americans, really buy stock here that will enjoy it from that angle? Because when we make our money, we quick to go get chief and go be big man, buy house in Lagos, Abuja, and the likes in our village. And when you use all those things to calculate, it don't mean anything because the ordinary Americans that is suffering during Trump also suffer during this Biden. So let's not use these these graphs and everything because it's less than 10%, which very many Americans also don't really invest. So please, we should stop this thing that say during Trump time, the economy was good. The economy was good for less than 10%. The official inflation rate is up to 25%.
Oh,
it was hard in Obama and Trump, and it's hard in Biden.
Thank you, Paul. Let's go to Ovie, and then I'll come to Joel of Nashville. Ovie, 2 minutes. You said it's 30 seconds that you have.
It's obvious. Don't like me. Just put me back. You don't want me to talk. Put me backstage.
Hausa people say, "Fuskan talaka beze ikomiba." That means no matter how poor man make his face rich, he will not move a needle. The idea that this poor Republican and Democrat now go actually come vote to decide who will be the factor in charge of 29.something trillion dollar economy is ridiculous. I don't just understand how that one take dey work. But anyway, to come back to see that guy we call the one defend the what that guy talk about the Africans are not using their intellect. Just because you had the war context to it doesn't mean you are not repeating what the guy is saying. I answer him from a context. Now you know understand. Maybe you don't know the word, you know the meaning of context. I draw his attention back to what he said about the creation of Israel that is by British and America. My brother, that is context. So that is where he make that comment from. And I draw him back to the second. Then, if you say now then creator, what is the reason? Still on the context. So just because you come hard context to the idea that Africans are not using their internet doesn't mean you are different from what he's saying. So that's now what I want to talk with that.
All right, thank you. KJ, before Joel.
Okay, I don't think I want to, because like you said, nothing I said now is going to change America. So let's just go ahead to the next topic. Yes.
Right.
Second, let's go ahead. This is big matter. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A lot of things were said. I forgot my guy with glasses. He said that the inflation taxes and inflation was higher, if I heard it very well, under Trump. I would like to say I don't know which country you stay in. Under Biden, I think we are seeing some grocery prices at about even 50%, 60%, even in some places 100% increase. I don't know where you shop. I also do payroll, and I know what the taxes were on that. In fact, there was a time
There was a time they paid me an amount, and I was asking my employee then, I remember, are you sure that this is my money? Are you sure you took out everything? Look, there is no question about it. Both parties can lie. I get it. Everybody have an interest to protect. Just like me, I do not believe that there should be the machine guns, on the streets. I don't believe in guns. I believe that a society without gun is safer than a society. A society without guns is safer than a society with guns. So I get it, but we cannot say when we look at the pure facts that taxes and inflation were better under Biden than Trump. That is pure lies. I mean, I can even go down to the nitty-gritty in terms of gas prices. And we knew what happened, and we knew the politics that was played, the executive actions that Biden took immediately he got into power in order to boost the fictitious electric or what alternative energy. So I'm going out. I don't want to waste my time with that. But the damages you were talking about, when I said we came here to make money, truly we came here to make money. If it's not money, what did you come here to do? Did you come here to write? Did you come here to write a book? You can write a book in Nigeria.
No.
Let's be. Sometimes we like to form.
Yeah,
Probably one of those. Please now, hold on now. We are one of those people that will see people on the street and say, "We are kings. We are kings." I've started telling them, "We are not kings." Yeah, look at me. If I'm a king, I won't be here. If my father was Oba of Lagos, you won't see me here. So you see all of us here with our big heads. None of them are kings.
Speak for yourself. I'm a king. I am a king.
Apart from that, we're talking about family, right? Some people come here and say, "Okay, I want to raise my family in a better environment," which is really good. But I have always shared that same thought with somebody that forget it. No matter how you want to look at it, any kid that we have here is going to the Americans, then going back to Nigeria. The only link that we have between here and Nigeria is us. We that came here. Our kids are going to America. They're African Americans. So whenever I talk, I speak for them because I have seen incidents where my daughter came back and was telling me about different genders.
You speak for Africans.
And you say?
You don't speak for your kids. You speak for yourself because you want
Africa. I'm speaking for them because I know what works. I knew what worked for many of us in Nigeria. I knew the reason why immediately we came here, we were able to just like assimilate ourselves into the system, came here, get ourselves focused, did what we had to do, and today we are celebrated. You cannot distort a winning formula for a formula that is not working. Because when you look at the schools here and you look at the graduation rate and you look at the same thing that happens in the Nigerian universities, when you see graduates that cannot speak English, that are not doing really good. We also have it here and we have it more. High school students that cannot do maths, English, that cannot even read. We have those problems here. And what is the problem? Like in the state like Tennessee, they will say, no child left behind. What is not child left behind? If the child is not doing good, the child should be left behind. It serves as a deterrent for that child to do good and move forward. That is the way we were trained. So we have to look at this in the whole context and don't get swallowed by the American system. Thank you very much. And please, lastly, my Oga that came to say that he made 4%. Look, we're not talking about the stocks here, right? Probably you should go and listen to Kamala when she said part of her policy about taxing capital gains. Most of us are not even reading Man of Prestige. I know you will know all these ones.
But
basic
economics 101. If they inject 6.7 trillion into the economy, what do you think will happen?
They will give it out.
Pandemic.
They will give it out.
You understand? Look, Obama injected 4 trillion into the economy for 8 years. And Trump injected 6 trillion into the economy for 4 years. And Obama put 4.
You
Trump
forget
put 6 for 4 years. No, please. I want him to enlighten me on that. The 6 trillion into because of the pandemic, that is what caused the inflation. And America is the first country that bounced back all over the world. It's affecting Nigeria, Canada, the UK, the Germans of this world.
Correct.
Why are you lying with that? This
No,
6 trillion that they put
I am
because
not
of
lying about that,
pandemic,
but the
that is what
policies.
that is what triggered inflation. Don't be lying.
Look. See. We all knew what happened with the supply chain during COVID. We all understood that. But we are not going to also neglect the fact that the
not
government
supply
has been.
chain.
Hold on now.
6.7 trillion that was passed
Hold
into
on
the
now.
economy because of the
Hold
pandemic.
on. The thing that is this: even after the pandemic, there was government wastefulness in terms of spending. Do not take away that from what the Biden administration did. This money was just being given. Look, let me tell you, I had a friend that just stopped getting paid, staying at home just last 2 weeks. Let me just tell you how wasteful this government is.
All right.
So I
Thank
am
you.
not talking about things that did not exist. I'm talking about, it's not about how much that was brought in, but how much that was being expended on frivolities by this government. And that is what kept us where we are today in terms of inflation. Thank you.
Like what? Like what?
No, Paul, please. Let's not go.
Oh, you got it. You got the point.
All right. So let me give Okapo just 1 minute to respond because he was mentioned.
Yes. Two things. Rudolph said we did not come here to make money, and somebody was challenging him. I'm going to defend Rudolph on that one. If you know where Nobi is, how far Nobi is from Nnewi, how far Nobi is from Onitsha, the Rudolph has to be on drugs to leave Onitsha to come America and then go to school as a way of making money. If he tells you the number of people from his village who do not know up to today how to write their name, who can show you $5 million US cash, you will not believe it. The same thing with me. I'm from Obunike. Obunike is less than 6 miles away from Onitsha. If I tell you the number of people I know who don't even know how to tie their shoes up to today, who can show you cool $3 million, not naira, and they have never left Onitsha. So why will I live Onitsha and come to America and say I'm doing PhD in psychology there to be a millionaire? When the guy that I grew up in the village knows that he goes to Onitsha and everything, every other month he's in China importing the container. So my dear, we did not come to America. Maybe you did. Most of us did not come to America to make money. Most of us come to America because when we were growing up, we were meant to believe in education. And that's why up to today, I still tell people that I'm one person that believes that education is a scam. Not because it doesn't offer something. It offers something, though. Why I say it's a scam is that people never told us what to expect from education before we undertake it. It's not a way to make money. It's a way to make a living. Now, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be rich, after you get educated, you still have a chance to go do that, but you have to go do other things. That's my number one point. The second point I'm making is about what Ovie said when I said that Nigerians or Africans don't use their intellect. We've sat down here and then had some people who came here to debate whether the British people are keeping us, the Western world are keeping us down, or the Western world are not. What is our strategy to fight back? Or do we think that if we rant about them, or if we actually blame them, the more we blame them, then one way or the other result going to emerge? That's not what the African Americans did after 100 years of being oppressed. They went out and they acted and they resolved it and they acted. Now, even if you're right, I don't believe that you're right, but let's assume that you're right, that the Western world is holding us back. What is our strategy to fight back? We're not going to get result from blaming them, pointing fingers. And besides, we know the number of people every time we elect our leaders, they loot our system, and we know they're looting their system. Will we be developing our country as in parallel with our leaders looting the system at the same time? Will it work? Come on, let's be honest to ourselves. There's no amount of blame. I'll blame Rudolph why I didn't pay my rent for my rent to be paid. I'm not going to blame anybody why my village is not working and then my village are mad because I'm going to say, oh, it's the governor. No, the people there should play a role in their own life. And that's what I mean when I said that we are not using our God-given creativity. Because if
But why do everything have to be blamed, though? Why do everything have to be blamed? Who's blaming who? Who blame anybody here? Why do everything have to be blamed? I never blame anybody. Now you they blame people.
Yeah, hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. Okay. So I wrote certain things down here, right? In 1895, the number of railroads that crisscross America is more higher than what the number of railroads that is in America today. And they were all built by individuals. The railroad system that developed in America up to today were owned by individuals, not the government. The Standard Oil Corporation that was developed in America was developed by individuals, not the government. The iron and steel that was developed in the United States was developed by individuals, not the government. Guys, the information is there for us to see. Now, for the person who was talking about how much Obama gave to HBC when he came, not Obama, Trump. Trump signed a bill that the Congress passed, which was $250 million for the entire HBCU in the United States. Since that time up to date, the Biden administration has increased that from $250 million. Now the HBCU has $16.8 billion from Biden administration. You can check this out. You can cross check. Check me out.
You're 100% right about that one.
All right.
You're right on that one. I'm not disputing that. But the thing is that we're looking at instincts, right? Things that made people to make certain decisions. Before that 250 million you were talking about, he made it unlimited. Before then, they used to come every year, and he made it permanent. Now, hold on, there is room for improvement. If a new government came in and increased it, there is no problem. But that does not negate the fact that the intent of the person that increased it in the first place was bad. That's the point.
Well, it wasn't his bill. It was the Congress that he said he just signed it into law. Don't forget that he never supported the bill in the first place. Go and read it.
Hold on, guys, and that's enough. We have a lot of things to talk about. I was going to talk about two topics before I leave. I have less than 28 minutes left to round up, so I'll hand it over to forefathers. So, but we are going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to talk about this incident. It's a bigger story, but I want to break it down into three. The first thing is the situation with Nnamdi Kanu and the way that the judges, the government essentially is refusing to allow his lawyers to see him. Then there's another aspect of that, which is the sit at home that is becoming very unattainable. The situation in the Southeast, both the economy and insecurity that follows that. The third part was what happened with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and a fake tweet that was attributed to Simon Ekpa. And what we can learn from that experience, Okonjo-Iweala responded to that, and Simon got an opportunity to talk back at her. So we'll take a break, and we will we'll discuss these things, and we'll be fast. Thank you so much.
this brief
All right.
press encounter by the members of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu and the media people concerns primarily what happened yesterday at the Federal High Court. Yesterday, because of the serial and consistent disobedience of the orders of Justice Binta Nyako regarding the council visitation to Nnamdi Kanu, the Federal High Court Registrar issued a Form 49. A Form 49 is a notice issuing to the defaulter, to the contemnor, the person in contempt of court, the person disobeying the order, to come to court and show cause why he should not be committed to.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're moving the conversation forward, and we are talking about the situation in the Southeast, vis-a-vis Nnamdi Kanu sit at home, Simon Ekpa, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. So I want us as quickly as possible to take on one aspect of it. You don't have to weigh in on everything. I will start to KJ.
Okay, thank you so much again. Yes, I want to weigh in on the situation with Nnamdi Kanu, and I feel a bit concerned that the lawyers, I felt this time somebody said they were making that interview because when they left the DSS office, but I think that if the court has failed to do what follow, if the DSS have failed to obey the law, they should file immediately for contempt of court. They don't have to give another. I mean, too much press interviews and all that, and very little action. Let it be concluded that the court, after filing for contempt, the DSS also refused to be arrested. Now, however, it is so worrying that those people who are the champions of the East, who have said that Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa are doing the wrong things, have not jumped out to come into the defense or to come to show us a new path in which should be taken to bring about the peace in the Southeast. Because I think that has gone beyond just the normal thing happening. Somebody is using this as a way of making sure that the East continues to be under a lot of militancy. They're using that to really make sure that Igbo land do not develop at the level it should, because what he simply says. So I'm not in a rush. I'm afraid of Mr. Rudolph time, so I'm actually running over the whole thing. But this is what it tells. As long as you say the Southeast is insecure, okay, you continue to pump arms and ammunition, whether they are government owned or they are individual militant like Asari Dakobo, who are carrying out all kinds of actions in the Southeast. Now, it will continue as long as you believe that the Southeast is not secure. And one of the things, the reason they're using is Nnamdi Kanu. And as long as Nnamdi Kanu is locked up, the sit at home will continue unabated, and every other person will.
All right, KJ is frozen, and let's go to forefathers.
I think this matter has become a political football. Something that has to do with law and order has just become about politics. Because I don't think he's been arrested for his use. It's about breaking specific tenets of the law. And instead of to prosecute it appropriately, they are turning it to a game of politics, like they do in Nigeria often. Personally, I see it as a mark of a weak nation that cannot prosecute a case, that cannot move things forward, and you have politicians interfering, and some of them want him to be released, others want him to not be released. And all this is not helping create institutions. We say we want institutions, but institutions are created by presidents. It's created from having people used to set examples. If you want institutions to be functional, you have to allow them be functional. The government should not play politics with somebody's life like that. If he's committed a crime, prosecute him, provide evidence, And if he's guilty, have him convicted and he serves his time. If he's, if you don't want to prosecute him, let him go. And that is if he's innocent. But this game that they are playing is all about politics instead of building institutions and building a nation. Personally, I'm not interested in all the shenanigan that is going on. This one said this one, that one said that one. That's all the stuff you keep hearing. And nobody is looking out for the actual entity of the nation itself, whether this nation is healthy. You have a situation whereby the Niger Delta people, they did something wrong. Oh, they have to find a way to settle it because they are angry. Let's settle them. Before you know it, you settle Nnamdi Kanu, you settle Boko Haram. What kind of nation is that? That's not how you run a nation. And you say you don't have institutions. Institutions are created based on precedents. Because if they can prosecute somebody that is regarded as great before, what will happen to the smaller person? That is how you create precedents. If Bobrisky can be prosecuted for messing with the Naira, what would happen to the man sitting in beer parlor if they arrest him tomorrow? He's going to think that I don't have a chance. If they can throw someone like Bobrisky in prison, I don't have a chance. That is how you set precedents. But our nation, we don't seem to understand that. But like I said, they are playing politics with this, and the whole thing has gotten messy. Thank you.
All right, thank you, forefathers. KJ, finish up.
Sorry, my network failed me. Okay, so like I was saying, the Southeast have become a cash cow. Both those who are in uniform are milking from the system, and those who are non-state actors are also milking from the system. And who is giving this impetus is derived from the man who is held. His life is going 5 years counting. We are going to the 5th year now of being locked up, and yet no date has been set for that case to be heard. Yet nobody has taken any proper step to say, look, this case should be handled and let this person go or be put in prison. Now, I thought that the leaders of the East, who ordinarily would have prized themselves as those who are doing it the right way, like Mr. Benjamin Kalu, who is the number 6 and has vowed that Abia State to go to the way of APC in the 2027 election, instead of being the one to champion Islamization, gender inclusion in the constitution, should have been the one to bring this to the floor of the House of Reps and debate it. But no, they won't do that. They would rather pander to those of their masters, to the point that it is becoming so embarrassing. We cannot overburden this this issue, because it's been long, more than enough. Are you saying the government, with all the apparatus of government at your disposal for 4 years, cannot bring a charge that can stick to an individual you so acclaim has committed fraud against your country? Is that correct? And then constantly being holding this man satisfies you? Is that what you're saying? Are we saying that tomorrow, God forbid, if something happens to that young man, you think Nigeria will remain the way it's going to be? No, because there'll be more than 100 Nnamdi Kanus stringing up from the Southeast, just like they did the issue of Boko Haram. I think somebody who is in the government should hear something, though. We are saying it now. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Bumi?
Thank you, Dr. Damages. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is it's just very clear about how majority of the society views our institution. I don't think you might hate the man, you might not like certain things that he says, but it doesn't change the fact that the Nigerian state is holding him against the law. That's all it is. And I feel like if we are people who really say that if this is something that we abide with it, because I do hear some people talk about. I think a good example is the fact of talking about the LGBTQ, saying that that's against who we are. So my question is: are we also people that are fine with the country or the state actually holding people illegally? Is that who we are as people, that we are fine with that? Because it just kind of tells you how people view other people, because there's no way they should be holding this man if the court has said, okay, he hasn't actually done anything that requires him to stay there. So that's just how I see that. I don't think it's just politics. I also see it as a way to reflect the viewpoint on the people. And then regarding the whole sit at home, it's just a bit sad because I understand the concept behind it. I understand the fact that they're trying to prove a point to the state to say that, okay, that we don't like the way you're treating us and we want you to take us more serious. I understand that. But the negative side to it is that, but then as a society, you're not growing. You're also not growing. So the question is like, are you only trying to is that sit at home really something that actually affecting the government, or is it actually also affecting you? Like, what's the whole point of it? Because you're trying to show the government that they should take you serious, but at the same time, you're also hurting yourself because things are hard for everyone. So yeah.
All right. Thank you. Joel, Nashville.
Yeah, thank you so much. But me, let it not be like I'm attacking your views, but the comparison of LGBTQ and the problems we have in Nigeria are just like apples and oranges. Every country has their own problems, but don't add yours to ours. I think I'll leave it at that. The issue concerning Nnamdi Kanu, I was one of those when Nnamdi Kanu started. I really supported him. I was like, yeah. At the time he deviated, but after all of that happened, we are looking at what the court system is doing in Nigeria. How people are able to manipulate the judicial system to fit their own narrative or fit their own sentiment. That is where we are today. Now in Nigeria, it is known. It's a known fact. It's the silent part many people don't want to talk about. If Nnamdi Kanu was of any other tribe, this would not have been an issue. It depends on the man in power and when you talk about the systemic way that the different governments in Nigeria have been used to hold or to destroy the Igbo land, making it look like it's a place that's inhabitable. The state at home is an unfortunate situation. It's one of those situations where you look at and you'll be like, it's something that couldn't have happened in the first place. If you're going to hold Nnamdi Kanu and you cannot protect the streets or protect where the people are, and people are telling you, okay, the reason why this place is like this is because Nnamdi Kanu is being held. If you're going to convict him, convict him. Put a closure to that case. I mean, I don't see anything that man has done that we've not seen any of these people, including Igbo, but leaving him there, really makes some people think that, we are not part of the system. And if you want to build a country of inclusiveness, you have to build it on justice and equity. And justice and equity have not been seen to be applied in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. And it is sad. It is sad on all fronts. Now, when you look at the people doing this, they sit at home, it is another abomination. You are killing your people in order to prove a point. So if, for instance, this is not the kind of, because it puts some questions. Are we there? I think
No, we're here. We're here. We can hear
we're
you.
here. Okay. When you look at what Nnamdi Kanu is passing through, and when you look at what the people of the street in the Southeast, what they are passing through every Monday, the amount of money that is being lost, you ask yourself the question, what is the intent of those doing the sit at home? I do not think that people like Simon Ekpa should be free on the streets. They have caused more harm to the land of Igbos than what we have seen. I think since after the Civil War, it's a charade. It's a charade. Now you're going to talk about Okonjo-Iweala. For what? When I saw that story, I was like, yeah, he has started his propaganda as usual. Such a man cannot be taken seriously because he is part of the problem we are having in the Southeast. But I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. If Nnamdi Kanu is going to get convicted, they should convict him. I'm not going to plead, for something that I know that is his right. They should allow him to go if they cannot state any or hold anything against him. But leaving him there in perpetuity with nothing to show for it, I think is injustice taken too far. Thank you very much.
All right, Joel, thank you so much. Before we go down, let me hear from Show, and then we go down to those. We have like 16 minutes for me to end my segment.
Yes, on this Southeast issue, I agree totally with part of what Forefather said when he said, if Nnamdi Kanu is guilty, pronounce him guilty. There's no point keeping the man for keeping sake. It's almost like, collateral. They're just holding him to say, to what end? And you can understand why some people are saying that, Nigeria is not fair to the Southeastern people, because Sunday Igboho was championing for the same sort of let's break away. And conversations happened, and Sunday Igboho has been let go. The Miyetti people, we've had them many times say, if you don't do this for us, we'll break Nigeria, Nigeria will cease to exist. I mean, the Miyetti guys have threatened the sitting president many times. So if we're not saying, let me speak. I'm not saying just releasing Nnamdi Kanu for release sake. Charge him to court. If found guilty, let him go do the time. If he's not guilty, let him go home. There's no point holding him. What are we looking to gain with just holding him for the sake of holding him? And someone is in Finland now, the prime minister. Let me bow to the prime minister. He's saying the 2nd of December is going to declare Biafra. He's now released a video saying that Vietnam, they did this. It might take 20 years for the actualization because December 2nd is upon us, and he's thinking people will start asking what's going on. So he released a video.
Hold on, sure, you follow him?
No, I'm on Twitter, so people will bring it up, follow him for what is missing. So people will bring up sort of things, people who want to taunt him and tease him. So the video, I've added it to the backstage. You can play it if you want to play it. Okay. It's like a 2-minute video where he said that the 2nd of December still stands. So you people, please, so 2nd of December, when you break away, I want to come and visit. How do I get visa and all these things? I have a lot of friends from the Southeast, So people like that will continue to exist as long as you keep holding Nnamdi Kanu. I would like to see what would transpire between both of them if Nnamdi Kanu was released. How relevant would Simon Ekpa remain? So this sort of, it doesn't just make sense for the Nigerian state to keep holding Nnamdi Kanu. If found guilty, let him do the time. If he's not guilty, let him go home. There's no point holding him. It's pointless. I mean, that's why you see all sort of nonsense. I mean, look at the tweets. He said he didn't tweet it. Some people are saying he tweeted it. That exactly, yes, he said he didn't tweet it, and I'm not saying he did, but the woman had to come out and defend herself. And he replied, Okonjo-Iweala, saying that every time they've been unaliving her people in the East, she's kept quiet. But now that something came up, a tweet that was associated to him, that she came out to defend herself. Why hasn't she come out all this while to defend her people? And he said, ended it in a respectful manner. But I understand why she came out. She had to defend herself to say, I'm not part of it.
But sure, this is my concern. That's why I brought up that tweet and that angle. I want us, because to me, it's a learning moment. Why will someone like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala respond to a tweet that, immediately I saw that tweet, I went to Simon Ekpa's timeline, and I didn't see it. So first, I knew it wasn't him that sent out that tweet. In that situation, because this should not be the one responding, one of the press secretaries, could be the one that will respond. In that way, you reduce the attention you bring into the tweet, and you reduce, but you also clear your name. I understand why that might be necessary. But by her responding, you can see the balance of power and how he now came back to say, oh, you are responding to this because your name is mentioned. Why have you not said anything about what is happening to your people? I'm just saying, media advice on how to handle crisis like that.
I know why she answer.
I guess
can I say
learn
something?
from you.
Can I say something? Just a bit, just 1 minute.
Yes, KJ.
Now, when I saw it also, I went to Simon Ekpa, and I didn't see it. And I felt that, in fact, let me be very straight here. I felt the same thing that Simon Ekpa felt. Because you are one of the people that the whole of Igbo land respects. You've never put a word for the struggle in the East. Why are you so much in a hurry to respond to a mere tweet? You didn't even, just like you said, send your media people to check to be certain that this is what this man have said. I didn't feel nice at all, to be frank to you. I didn't feel nice because I think she should be
In
more
their
than
defense,
that.
they might think that he deleted it. I mean, it's possible to delete tweets. I'm not saying he deleted it, but I'm saying it's a possibility that, her team might have thought, oh, maybe he's deleted it after the backlash, and they just felt they need to clear a name. I mean, I guess you guys have the moral ground to speak on it more than I do, but I just feel like she feels this is a big deal, it's a big issue. Don't stain my white, whatever color she's wearing, and she just wants to disassociate herself completely from Simon Ekpa. I think that's what she was trying to do. But
all right, I'm seeing some comments saying that he tweeted it and deleted it. I don't know how true that is, but all right, let's go further and hear from James and move on. James, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I think I will not be able to comment on this issue because it's getting so, should I say, terribly complex for reasons I cannot understand. I was listening to KJ today on a program, I think on the Voice of the People or so. He made a point. When this man was extradited from Kenya to Nigeria, the Justice Minister made a broadcast to the nation in Hausa language. In a country where the language of the official language is English, the man made a broadcast in Hausa language. This thing has got a tribal undertone, which people are not even addressing. I remember he made some very strong statements against the Hausa Fulani hegemony and things like that before he ran into problems. Frankly speaking, I cannot comment on this issue because for a number of reasons. It's long ago I left home and I've not been in touch with the development at home as such. So I'm sorry, I will not be able to comment on this issue. But however, the Igbos, they should try to see things from each other's point of view. From the look of things, there is a political divide among them. They need to come together to find a common ground to resolve their internal problems. Look at Sunday Igboho. While he was in the Republic of Benin, I do not know of any prominent Yoruba man who criticized him, publicly at least. Recently, they even went to the UK demanding the breakup of Nigeria. And up to now, I've not seen any prominent Yoruba man, I mean the leaders of thought, criticizing this boy, let alone, frankly speaking, I'm sorry, I cannot comment much on this issue. Let me leave it at that, if you don't mind, Mr. Rudolph.
All right. Thank you, Mr. James. Before I come to Righteous Man, I just wanted to point out I'm getting some messages that he wrote the tweet. So, there are ways that you can actually find tweets that are deleted. And I'm thinking that if that is the case, someone in a position like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala should be able to say this was a deleted tweet. But maybe she didn't want to get into that. But and that would be more impactful to say anyway. But I don't know. It shouldn't be. Yeah. Go ahead.
I know it's coming rather too late. I shared a link from Sahara Reporters. So if you can share the link so that I will point out, I need to educate our people on how to use social media, on how to detect fake news or Photoshop on X handle, X. Let me educate them a little bit because people tend not to use their brain. So I think after today, you'll be able to point out when you see a fake news and the real news. Please, if you can share it.
Where did he share it? On my Twitter? Where did he send it?
Yes, no, on the backstage chat, please.
Okay. All right, let's go to Righteous Man. Righteous Man, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you once again. I want to correct some of the information that have been dished out in the panel here. They are very, very quite unfortunate. Number one, the seat at home is not affecting the development of Southeast. If you go to Abia State today, the government is working 100%. If you go to Enugu State today, the governor is working 100%. Ebonyi State is working 100%. So if there is anyone who is coming to sell a false information that the sit at home is affecting the economy of Southeast and that is slowing development in the Southeast, is a pure lie. It's from the pit of hell. That's not true. Number two, what is holding Nnamdi Kanu is not the institutions that are not working. Frankly speaking, the institutions that are supposed to work as regard to his case, they worked effectively and they discharged him. The appeal court trashed out all the 15 count charges leveled against him by the federal government. Then went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ordered his release, which when he interviewed Sowore here, Sowore said it, that he even told the Nnamdi Kanu lawyers not to apply for bail again because by the judgment of the Supreme Court, they have reinstituted the bail that was cancelled. I listened it in this platform. So the Nigerian institution that's supposed to aid to his release, they did their work 100%. Nobody should blame the Nigerian judiciary. It is the political elite, the tribal hatred on the Igbos. It is that marginalization that we are crying. That is what is holding Nnamdi Kanu. Because if Nnamdi Kanu had been from another tribe, he would have been released. He is being held because he's Igbo. He's not being held because he had been convicted by the institution, which is the court of law. Rather, the court of law had freed him. But because he's Igbo, they will not let him go. So it is when those who are holding him decide to let him go, he will go. But as regards to the institutions, please don't blame Nigerian institutions. They have been working effectively in this case. Then as regard to Simon Ekpa, I don't know, but personally, I want to believe that he didn't write that that tweet, because I tried to look at it from the other angle, and I discovered that the copies I saw were photoshopped. And Simon Ekpa is a bold guy. If he had written it, he will say he wrote it, and heaven will not fall. That's just the truth. He didn't write that thing. I think somebody did that copy on his behalf in order to incite crisis.
All right.
That's my belief.
All right. But let me just point out. Oh, you want to say something, sure?
I just wanted to ask. I know this question gets asked a lot. So, yes, it's known that the Southeast is marginalized, like most other parts of Nigeria, like most Nigerians. But Southeast may be peculiar. But there are 5 governors from the Southeast. There are senators from the Southeast. There are House of Rep members from the Southeast. Is there anything they are doing as a united force to get their sort out?
Yes.
Okay.
They have gone to meet. The House, the governors, they held meeting. They sent delegates to meet Mr. President. They pleaded on his behalf that this issue should be resolved politically. And nothing was said about that. It's just because it's Igbo. That's just the case. And let's be bold to say it.
All right. Thank you, Righteous Man. I just want to point out that the governors of the Southeast, Ohaneze and every other group, they've pointed out that the sit at home is hurting the economy of the Southeast. I know that, Righteous Man, you are not in the Southeast. If you talk to people who live there are consequences when you close down businesses. I'm not even talking about just people buying and selling. I'm talking about banks. I'm talking about all institutions closed down for a whole day. Hospitals, doctors who should make money from people coming there who are sick, people who are pregnant. There are consequences. Don't say that it doesn't hurt the economy. If Lagos, where you live, is closed for one day of the week, in addition to the days you take off, there will be economic consequences. There's no part of the world where you decide that a Monday should be a free day, closed down, that won't have impact on the economy. So, all right, let's go to Jonaba. Jonaba, you're next.
Good afternoon from here, Dr. Rudy and fellow brothers. Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu, I think it's political in the Nnamdi Kanu issue, and whenever they can walk behind the scene and take their son to talk to Jibril or Buhari, none of them will free him. Thank you.
But I was just I didn't know you finished. But thank you so much. We are out of time actually. Well, let me hear from Kene. Kene, you are next.
Yes,
Don't talk.
Dr. Damages, good morning. Good day, everyone. Sorry. So we're talking about the marginalization of Ndibo, which everybody will agree with me today that is purely because Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. That is why he's still in the prison. Just like Licentious Man has stated, Nnamdi Kanu was asked, the appeal court exonerated him from all the charges, while the Supreme Court asked for his release, but he still kept there. Thank you for sharing this. I want you to go to the first post where they said that Simon Ekpa called out Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala for helping them in securing a loan. That very contentious post. Just go down, just go up more. Go up. No. I mean, scroll up. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Yes, stop there. You see where Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala responded to Simon Ekpa, right? After Ngozi Iweala's name, you see the verified, meta-verified blue this thing, shake, right? You see that, right? Then under her name, you see where it says at, N-O-I. Then after that, you see follow in blue ink, right? You see that?
Yeah.
Now, if you go to where they say that she was responding to Simon Ekpa, right? You see where they say Simon Ekpa, and you see that meta-verified mark, right? Under the name, you see Simon Ekpa Simon underscore Ekpa. Did you see any follow there? No follow. Now, if you go to the next one, where Simon Ekpa was trying to clear that accusation, you see the follow, right? Now, that shows you that the initial posts, the one that says breaking news from Simon Ekpa, was fake. He does not have the follow. But where he kept responding to Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, you see the follow. And you see the Ngozi Iweala's response, you see the follow. So for people that tend to believe everything they see on social media, try to be able to separate fake news from the real news. So it shows that what Simon Ekpa is saying is true. He never made that tweet. It was a Photoshop, and that was why they could not include that follow, because that follow shows that he is a verified Twitter handler, and people should follow him. So if you see where the initial post does not have a follow, it shows that is a fake one, a photoshopped kind of a tweet. So please, let's all begin to separate this.
Hold on, Kene. Malam Ifi Kings is saying that you see follow if you are not following the person. But if you are following the person, you won't see follow. Is that, who knows? Who understands?
No, it's a lie. So does it mean that Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala later follow Simon Ekpa? Malam is a Malam. He's a book. He doesn't know what he's saying. See, let's go ahead. And again, Simon Ekpa responding to Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, he was in his response. I see a very respectful guy, and that is why I always say that Simon Ekpa is a good boy, good man. Actually, he's a man. He's man now, so good man. And somebody like me, I will always support Simon Ekpa. I will always support Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, our Southeastern leaders, they have been, some of them claim to have been speaking against the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. But it's very annoying to see some Nigerians coming up here and say, oh, let him be tried. If he's tried and he found guilty, he should be sentenced to jail. No, he has been tried. He has been tried several times. The appeal court has tried him and found him innocent. The Supreme Court has tried him and found him innocent. Why will he be tried again and again, and you're still calling for his continued trial? For what? How many times did they try Sunday Igboho? How many times was Boko Haram leaders tried? Nnamdi Kanu did not even kill anyone. He did not even cause anyone in the country or cause anyone to be killed. But we have somebody like Asari Dokubo threatening the life of Ndibo, and you are not saying anything about it. If you are saying that the sit at home is affecting the Southeastern people, and you want the Southeastern people to stop sitting at home, then you are not telling yourself the truth. You should start by asking the federal government to do the right thing, to obey the court by releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Once Nnamdi Kanu is released, sit at home will stop. Don't jump the gun. Call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, just as the court has stated. Then if the sit at home continues, this is when you will now come out and say, oh, the sit at home is affected. Actually, I will want the sit at home to affect the economy of Southeast. If the governors, if it's affecting their revenue generation, they should come out and call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu so that the sit at home will stop.
All right. We're going to hear from the last person who is Ovie. But before we do that, let me just announce that tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa, we're going to do something different. For those who smoke Igbo and musicians like have dreadlocks, tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa, reggae musicians from Ghana, reggae and dancehall musicians from Ghana, they are joining us to talk about elections coming up in Ghana on December 7th. They have a concert that they are doing to call for peace. They are involved in the political process. And they will talk about the situation in West Africa, not just Ghana and Nigeria. And we want to know why they think that there is need for them to do what Bob Marley did sometime in 1978 when Jamaica was in political crisis. So we urge you, if you can, to join us tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa with Jah Beloved, my good man. So Rastaman and the vibration will happen here tomorrow. So join us if you can. All right, Ovie, we're talking about Nnamdi Kanu and Biafran.
So, since tomorrow is an IRA day, are we allowed to come on IRA live when we are, so that we'll all be in the space together?
No smoke.
Come on. All right. About that's the question you are asking to me. It comes to me as in a tripod question, right? Like the Holy Trinity. Talking about God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In this case, Nnamdi Kanu freedom, Southeast militarization, and our own Okonjo-Iweala. First of all, about that Okonjo-Iweala, either not fake or not real, but I think there's a response officially from both of them. So whoever put that move, kudos to that person. That person deserves a raise. He or she know why he did that. And from my own view, the reason is that because she knows Okonjo-Iweala, she's applying for second term. And why should they do it fast now is because her term was supposed to expire 2025 in November. Why did they rush her now? Because in case Trump come back, Trump will be block her nomination. But that's what happened in 2019. It took the coming of the Biden administration for her to get nominated again in 2021 to clean it. So that's where situations are now. That campaign has started. She has acknowledged the campaign. She has said yes, she's ready to go again and all that. So whoever did that, I believe that she is coming from that angle. Now, I don't, as at today, she never get the opposition yet, but anything can still happen. So I want to believe whoever put that stunt is coming from that angle, because she knows now all the international media who are interested in that angle of politics have eyes on her. She always made headlines. If you pay attention to the Financial Times, the economies and the rest. So for her to respond, it's a big promo for my boy, according to Kennedy, you know, my man, my guy, Simon Ekpa. It's a good promo for him. The guy don't go global, even know before now. So it's all our politics. So it's working. She know why she respond. I totally agree with you, Dr. Dameji. She responding is kind of maturity or whatever that what prompted her to go that route. Only her knows. But for me, I think it's a game way play coming from the Samuel angle, knowing who she is, position she occupying, and the time that she's playing on with everything going on with the election and all that. Now, coming to Nnamdi Kanu, is at this game in a political prisoner, however you want to do it. There's a financial side to it, there's a political angle to it. Political angle in the sense that Tinubu is not in any desperate position yet when it comes to 2027. He is doing well for the power that put him there and is sustaining him. The West is 100% happy with him. The local power too, yeah, they're happy because nobody's complaining. Now only we, the poor people, they just sit. It doesn't, it don't matter. So it's not in a very desperate situation yet, and I don't see him being at any time soon, unless power change from Washington D.C. and he's not able to continue the deal, whatever that might sound like. But as far as today is concerned, it's very relaxed. 2027 is pretty much in his pocket. Anything can still happen. So I think that is the angle that I'm saying this from. As far as the man is not under any trends, there's no point. You have to wait till the last minute. It clears the beginning agenda to release him to, or if it's up to him to be released, you have to wait till the right minute. You have to use it for something. Then the militarization of the Southeast, I don't talk on before, and I'll say it again. You have to mirror it to the situation of the African America in America. Again, go back to the tripartite agreement that was held in the 60s, right? That put them pretty much deeper in the situation they are today. That's a pattern that is between the government, the labor unions, and the white male business people from the South, which pretty much metamorphosed to Jim Crow. If you look at it from that angle, you understand the pleasure of the Southeast. As far as the Nigerian state is concerned, they have committed crime that should never be forgiven. I'm ready to debate anybody. There's a gentleman agreement that part of the country should never ascend to the presidency. They will try as long as they could. It's not the cast and steal. That is what they will keep pushing until maybe that thing is broken. But that's why the militarization, because there's nothing. Nobody now then they who then they rob. They are business people, they don't do anybody anything. But you have to constantly push here, especially the young kids who are growing up, which is what Nnamdi Kanu has succeeded in breaking. You understand? Breaking into the cycles of the youngest time as they come. Now lie. This game, this is it. So that's why he's still there. So the militarization have to just put them in fear. So how that one will they stop until they get that power? If you don't get power, anything they give you, anything you get now, give you.
All right. On that note, we will end it here. I want to thank forefathers, KJ, Mr. James, Righteous Man, John Abba, Kene, Honor Politics, everyone that joined us in the panel, those that watched at home, those on the comments, and those that supported the program, Alexander Gomez, Oscar Blackburn. Thank you all. And we are going to move over to the second part of the program that you have forefathers as the host, where we will talk about the cabinet reshuffling and who is in and who is out, and whether that will help us. Obasanjo's criticism of Tinubu about the money and the fact that he left $70 billion when he left, and now we are owing more than $70 billion. And all the other stories that we couldn't touch in this first segment. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Ogama, pattern language, I pick her up for Arise News. This now at a point they were in love with that language as if they never heard it before. For us, just convince all of us as if it's three different people.
It's happening. I told you.
And all of them are the same. So I'm coming from that angle. Anytime I use that, trying to
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Dr. Damages. Yeah, you have started again. Yes, that was how you started calling Bola Tinubu the incoming president of Nigeria. Months before the 2023 Nigerian presidential election. You have said it again. You're already throwing a parade for Donald Trump almost 2 weeks before the November 5th, 2000.